Welcome into Arsenal BG Ballpark as the Evansville Otters traveling to take on the Gateway Grizzlies' first game of 3 against this squad. Hello, everybody. I'm Lucas Macklin, and thank you so much for joining us this Tuesday evening. The Otters in their second set of 2 on the road after dropping the series against Joliet. The heartbreaking 4-3 loss after Evansville gave up the lead late. Now trying to bounce back against Gateway, who they did play earlier in the season. They went 1-2 in the first series of the year. And another one of those games where back on opening night had the lead late, gave up 4 runs late in the game, took game 2 in walk-off fashion. Then in game 3 got shut out in the second of 2 7-inning double headers. First, we'll take a look at the new movement for this Evansville squad. There's been some changes. Obviously, after that series loss, Alay Camus and Ross Thompson both being released, replaced by a pitcher, Tyler Alexander, who will be wearing number 32, and then a new infielder, Parks Bauk, who will wear number 1. We'll see if we see the pitcher today. Bauk not in the lineup for Evansville in this one. The Otters playing tonight at 6:35 p.m. or 6:35 p.m. 6:30 p.m. first scheduled pitch. Tomorrow night will be a 6:05 p.m. Central start, followed by a 10:45 a.m. start in Game 3 of this series. The Otters have Parker Brahms going on the mound. His first start since his 7-inning complete game, the first and only complete game for the Otters so far this year, where he went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits. That 1 run that came on the balk had 3 walks to 8 strikeouts in a season-high 109 pitches in a 1-0 loss for Evansville. They won his first 3 starts and now have dropped the last 2, and we'll see if he can try to bounce back today or give another great start here and give the Otters a chance to bring in some runs after this field with the short porch out and right. Another all-turf field here in Gateway, just outside of St. Louis. The Otters trying to bounce back, get their first series win for Gateway. They're coming off a series win against Mississippi where they almost came back and beat them in Game 3 of that series to complete the sweep, but instead fell 8-7 after they could not bring it back. The Otters all-time against Gateway are 127-121. Gateway, one of 5 teams within the Frontier League with 1,000 wins or more, so a team with a ton of history. On the other end, they will send Claudio Galva for his 5th start of the year. His last outing, the longest he's gone in a start, where he went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits, walked 4, struck out 3. A guy who does not strike out a ton of batters and can walk, but apparently does have some good stuff, and it's going to be a tough matchup for the Otters against the left-handed starting Claudio Galva. With that being said, the Otters go with 4 lefties in their lineup between David Mindham, Paven Parks, Logan Brown, and J.J. Cruz, and we'll see if they can get to the starter early and often. Obviously, Evansville coming off that Joliet series loss. Game 1 looked so great after scoring so many runs early, winning 13-10. Game 2, the 4-11 game where they could not keep up. And then obviously the game on Sunday, the matinee game where had a 3-1 lead late after a couple of solo shots, one from Ellis Schwartz, the other one from J.J. Cruz, but could not keep that lead late as Joliet just able to push across enough runs. Obviously, we talked about the close bang-bang calls did not go Evansville's way, and they'll have to try to respond against this Gateway squad that comes into this one at 22-16. They enter 3.5 games back of Schaumburg, trying to make up some ground, defeating Evansville here. Big matchup in the Central Division with Lake Erie and Washington going up against each other. That game will start at 7:05 p.m. Florence is playing Windy City this week, so it's going to be a fun week for Central Division baseball. And we'll see what Evansville can do. They enter this game at 17-21. They are 5.5 games back of Washington, 2.5 games back of Lake Erie, who stand at 18-18. Florence at 16-22. They're 6.5 games back of Washington, with Washington entering at 23 16. The only team in the Central Division coming off a win. They are 7-3 in their last 10. Evansville and Lake Erie both at 5-5, with Florence down at 4-6. You are watching the Papa John's pregame show. Remember that Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, Home Team Network, and on 96.9 WYIR. We'll take a short break, and when we're back, we'll go over starting lineups and talk about the starting pitchers a little bit more and talk about what this series looks like going forward. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCasa.com.
Welcome back into Arsenal BG Ballpark as the Evansville Otters traveling here to take on the Gateway Grizzlies. Hello, everybody. I'm Lucas Macklin. Thank you so much for joining me this Tuesday night baseball, and you're listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Remember that Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, Home Team Network, and on 96.9 WYIR. The Otters coming in to this series after the series lost to Joliet, and they take on Gateway, where they have a 127 and 121 record overall. They are 1-2 on the season. Obviously, Gateway, the first series we played this year back at Bosse, where Evansville had a late lead in game one, but gave that one up. A late lead in game two, gave that one up, but came back to win that one in extras, and then got shut out in game three. Those last two games coming as a double header. Let's talk about the starting lineups first for the Gateway Grizzlies. They'll be headed by Gabe Holt at second base, followed by Victor Castillo batting second and playing in left field. Batting third and playing first base, DJ Stewart. At batting fourth and in right field, the former Purple ace, Mark Schallenberger. Batting fifth and DHing will be Paxton Wallace. Batting sixth and playing third base will be Dale Thomas. Batting seventh and catching will be Jose Alvarez. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, the switch hitting Edwin Mateo. And rounding out the lineup, the shortstop, also a switch hitter, Abdiel Diaz. They are throwing Claudio Galva to start tonight. He is entering off his longest outing as a starter this year, where he went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, walked 4, and struck out 3. Pitched 98 pitches, which was 30 more pitches than he had pitched all year. He has 9 appearances on the year, 4 of those being starts. And he tries to shut down this Otters offense that we've seen be super hot throughout a lot of this road trip. Throughout these last couple of weeks, really, the Otters offense have been able to do a lot of good, especially against starters. And Galva comes in with a 3.18 ERA, couple of wins. Mentioned this is his 10th appearance and 5th start on the year. In 22 and 2/3 innings, he's walked 14 and struck out 10. So a guy who doesn't strike out a ton of batters and does give up the walk. See if the Otters can take advantage of that. Speaking of the Otters taking advantage, looking at the Otters starting lineup. Leading it off tonight and at third base, David Mendham, followed by Graham Brown back in center field. Batting third and playing in left field will be JT Benson. Batting fourth and playing shortstop tonight, Paven Parks. Batting fifth and DHing tonight, LJ Jones. Batting sixth and at first base, Logan Brown. Batting seventh and in right field tonight for the first time this year, Keenan Taylor. Batting eighth and playing second base, JJ Cruz. And rounding out the lineup, the catcher, Justin Felix. And on the mound for the Otters, Parker Brahms, fresh off his 7-inning shutout or 7-inning complete game, I should say, against Washington, where he went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, walked 3, only allowed 1 run. That came on the bulk. Struck out 8 and kept the Otters in that game, but unfortunately got no run support, where Evansville lost 1-0 in that 7-inning doubleheader game. His last couple of starts, he has looked fairly good. In his last start against Windy City, he went 5 1/3, did give up 10 hits, but only allowed 4 earned runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 6. And then against Washington, when he went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, allowed 2 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 3. Those runs coming off home runs. And the long balls have been the thing that's typically bitten him. When he's been able to avoid that, he's been really good. 6 home runs given up this year, leading to 12 earned runs for Parker Brahms. If he can keep those home runs down, that will be a positive. But at this ballpark here, a very short porch over in right with a 318 down left field, but it is a double wall over in left, so not a huge field, and one that can lend itself to offense, although the wind so far this last week and tonight blowing in, so maybe a little bit more of a challenge for the offense on both sides. Talked about this a little bit in the pregame earlier, but take a look at the roster moves for the Otters. A couple of players released. Alay Camus was released, as well as Ross Thompson. It was followed by signings of Tyler Alexander, a pitcher out of Georgia Gwinnett College, and an infielder, Parks Bauk, a infielder out of Lipscomb University. A couple of players the Otters hope to get a lot out of. Alexander, more of a relief pitcher, and Bauk is not in the starting lineup tonight, but is an available bat off the bench depending if they want to use him. We can talk a little bit of Bauk. In his final season with Lipscomb, he slashed to 339, 427, and 471. Had 5 home runs, 10 doubles, 40 RBIs. And then in slight summer ball action this year with the Jackson Rockabillys, had a 540 OBP with 15 walks to only 3 strikeouts. A very fantastic eye at the plate and potentially a valuable batter for the Otters if he can get hot. First pitch scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Central Time, as that is coming up very quickly. Quick talk about some of these players within the Otters lineup, specifically David Mendham, who is coming in with a .534 on-base percentage. Had a fantastic weekend against Joliet, where he continued to just get on base. Another guy that had a fantastic weekend at Joliet, Dennis Pierce, is not in the lineup. In fact, he is not available, and he apparently will not be available until Saturday. So he will be out this entire week unless something changes. A tough hit for the Otters, but one that this team has been able to overcome. They've shown to be able to overcome before, and hopefully they'll be able to do it again some more. The players off the bench are, of course, Parks Bauk and Ellis Schwartz. Schwartz coming off that fantastic game against Joliet, where he had a home run and a triple that really lit that offense, at least in the right way to begin with. Obviously not a ton of offense in that game. Mentioned that there are 4 lefties in this lineup, all of them in the infield. Mendham over at third base, Paven at short, Logan Brown at first, and JJ Cruz at second. The infield all lefties, while the outfield with Graham Brown, JT Benson, and Keenan Taylor over at right. All right-handed batters. Keenan Taylor has played left field a ton this year, but they moved him into right field. See how that adjustment works out for him, trying to maneuver some different things. Obviously, that means JT Benson out and left, so a switch there for them, and hopefully that's something that can help their defense that has been really good this year so far, but obviously you can always get better, and that would be the goal. The Otters with 37 home runs on the year. The last two coming from J.J. Cruz and Ellis Schwartz. And another ballpark where hitting home runs is a real potential with how short this field is. And the Otters hoping to jump on this gateway pitcher. Look at Galvo real quick. At home, he has a 5 ERA and 4 appearances, one of those being starts, and 9 innings. Has given up 5 earned runs, only 1 home run. The only home run he's given up all year came at this ballpark. Walked 6, struck out 3 with a 308 average against batters. So Galva obviously has not pitched as well at home as he has on the road in this ballpark that is very hitter friendly. This is his first season in pro ball since 2019, where he was initially signed by the Blue Jays organization at the age of 19. Back in 2016, where he pitched 3 years with them, pitched to a 4.61 ERA with 36 strikeouts. Then played 1 year with the Orioles organization. And then again, as I mentioned, his first year back in pro ball with the Gateway Grizzlies. Another player to watch out for Gateway is Mark Schallenberger, obviously a name very well known amongst Evansville people. Played for the University of Evansville last year during that storybook run in the tournament. This year he has been raking. Enters with a 311 batting average with 6 home runs on the year. Is coming in after the last series, had a couple of home runs against Mississippi. Went 5 for 11, a double, 2 home runs, 2 walks, 5 runs, 6 RBIs. Also hit by a couple of pitches in his last series against Mississippi. Playing in right field for the 4th time this year. Has a 460 OBP with 17 walks this season, 18 doubles, and a triple. A guy who has come in and made a name for himself early and often, batting 4th tonight for Gateway. Always a tough out, continued to be a tough out for Evansville, or against Evansville, I should say. The updates for this Gateway roster. Yesterday, the starting pitcher that we saw earlier in the year, Lucas Weinbergs, went on the 7-day IL. And today, they transferred their left-handed pitcher, Donovan Burke, from the 7-day to the 14-day. They placed their infielder, Tate Wargo, on the 7-day IL, but they did activate Paxton Wallace, who will be DHing tonight. The right-handed hitting Paxton Wallace, in only 4 games this year, has a 412 batting average, 7 hits, 1 double. He has been very good when he's been healthy, but has not played a ton of baseball this year. But he is back, ready to try to do some damage against this Otters pitching staff, headed by Parker Brahms today. Mentioned that Brahms coming off his best start of the year. He went 7 innings, gave up 1 run. Trying to do something similar today, but it's going to be tough against this Gateway offense that has a ton of great hitters and this ballpark that is very hitter-friendly. But it is a very left-handed hitter-friendly in particular. That's why the Otters have 4 lefties in their lineup. For Gateway, they have 3 lefties, a couple of switch hitters. So against the right-handed pitching Parker Brahms, it will essentially have 5 left-handed batters in their lineup. Quick look at Paxton Wallace this year. Played 2 games against Evansville back at the beginning of the season, where he went 3 for 8, had a double and an RBI. His other 2 games, one against Florence on May 22nd, and then one against Schaumburg on May 23rd. Again, a guy who's been dealing with a ton of injuries this year, but he is healthy right now, and he has been very good when he's been healthy. So we have the national anthem followed by the first pitch. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Grizzlies hit lively.
Welcome into Arsenal BG Ballpark, just outside of St. Louis, as we are getting ready for first pitch. I'm Lucas Macklin. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday night. Speaking of everything going on, I want to remind you that the Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network and sign up today. Get a front row seat to every Otters game this season. With Claudio Galva on the mound behind the plate, Jose Alvarez, that pitcher and catcher battery, is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. So Galva, the left-handed pitcher, making his 5th start of the year. Hasn't started a ton this year, but a guy that can give some good innings. Again, the most he's gone in a game is 5 innings, so see how long he goes in this one. The Otters are going to try to jump on him early and often, and if they can, potentially get a big lead. We've seen them get some big leads before. If they can get a big lead here, be huge to go their way with Parker Brahms on the mound. Hopefully can give them some length. Again, went 7 innings, pitched the most pitches he's pitched all year with 109 in his last outing. The Otters obviously hoping for something similar, but if he can just pitch to keep them in this game, we've seen this offense be able to get loud and get loud early. So the warm-ups are complete, and the first one to face him is going to be David Mendham, who has been so good this year for the Otters when he's been healthy. He enters with a above 500 OBP. Again, with Dennis Pierce not available for today. He's playing third base, with Logan Brown over at first base. And now Galva awaiting. He looks into his catcher Alvarez. First pitch to Mendham is taken for a ball, and that's the first pitch right there. Starts with a ball to Mendham. And 90 degrees right now here at Arsenal BG Ballpark. A hot week set for baseball here. That one is fouled up overhead. Our first overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. So Mendham in the left-handed batter's box against the lefty Galva with a 1-1 count. Next pitch in there for a strike. Now he's behind 1-2. So Mendham takes his time, now resets, and now steps back into the left-handed batter's box. Galva looks in, comes set from the stretch. The 1-2. That one is fouled off, and we'll do it again. Mendham a tough out at the plate, always battles. Nothing's going to change here. Again, enters with more walks than he does strikeouts on this season. So Galva set. The next 1-2 runs inside. Now the count evens up at 2-2. Mendham, Graham Brown, JT Benson, a new one at the top of the lineup, obviously, with no Dennis Pierce. And he's been so good at getting on base and in front of these bats that have been so hot, if he can stay on base. Now the next 2-2, he fouls that one off, and we'll do it again. So another great battle here from David Mendham. So Mendham ready for the next 2-2. He fouls that one off, and we'll do it again once again. What a great at-bat to start this game for David Mendham. Again, Galva, not a guy who goes super long. Did go 98 pitches in his last outing, but before that, the most he'd gone was 68 pitches. 5 innings, the most he's gone. The next 2-2. That one's up the middle. That's going to get through just past the second baseman, Gabe Holt, for a leadoff base hit for David Mendham. And a good start for this Otters offense after only putting up 3 runs in a game where they really didn't hit the ball a ton against Joliet. They did draw plenty of walks. Now it's Graham Brown, who didn't have the best stat-wise performance out in Joliet, but man, did he hit the ball hard a ton. Just was extremely, extremely unlucky. Multiple times where he hit the ball to the track, just missed a home run. But trying to get back, stay with the similar approach. So he waits the first pitch from Galva. That went outside, and he'll start ahead 1-0. Minimum over at first, not a traditional stolen base threat. If you get lazy, he definitely can take a bag. Now Galva set once again the 1-0. He takes that one for a strike as that just catches the corner. Count moves to 1-1. That one at 89 miles per hour. So Galva set once again, looks in, now delivers. That one's a chopper, but foul, and now Brown behind 1-2. Another 2-strike count to another hitter for Galva. Couldn't find a way to get out Mendham. Now tries to do differently here to Brown. The 1-2 pitch into Brown. Outside, and now it's 2-2. So back-to-back batters where he's at a 2-2 count. Galva still trying to find a way to get one of these Otters hitters out. Obviously still very early. So Galva set, delivers the next 2-2. That's chopped towards third, but it's going to go just foul, and we'll do it again. Galva struggling to get any of these pitches by these Otters hitters. Ton of contact so far. Hasn't been able to close out either Mendham or Brown yet. Now Galva's set the next 2-2 to Brown. That one in the dirt. It's going to get past the catcher, Alvarez. Mendham's going to walk over to second base, and a wild pitch is going to lead to a runner in scoring position with a full count to Graham Brown. So Galva already with a runner in scoring position here in this first inning. Still looking for his first out, as he has not been able to get one of these 2-strike counts to go his way yet. Early in this game, top of the first inning, Otters threatening, already a hit. Count 3-2 to the Otters center fielder, Graham Brown. Galva set, looks back, now delivers. That one is lifted, shallow right field, now traveling. Schaumburger's going to bring it in, Mendham not tagging. And so a fly out for Graham Brown will lead to 1 out. Runner still at second base, and next is JT Benson. Benson steps in today with a .398 OBP, 7 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs this year. Trying to get that runner in from second base. Galva's set the first pitch into Benson. He takes that one just low for a ball, and count moves to 1-0 to begin this one. Benson against Joliet was 4 for 10 going into that final game with 3 doubles, but went 0 for 4 in that final one. Next pitch fouls that one off, and now we're even up at 1-1. Benson dealt with some injuries a couple of weeks ago during the last road trip, but came back and stayed hot. A former Louisville Cardinal awaits the 1-1 pitch. That one finds his own. Now Galva ahead of another batter, 1-2. Third straight batter where he's led off with the ball and then got into 1-2. Got Brown to fly out in the last at bat. And now he's against Benson, 1-2 count. That one fouled back, and we'll do it again. Benson has been a huge get for the Otters, signed right before the season. And wow, he has stepped in and made an impact right away. Obviously batting the 3-hole shows how much manager Andy McCauley trusts him. The next one, too, that one runs outside. We'll even it up at 2-2. So Galva early in this outing, a lot of pitches already. Already 20 pitches. He's only gotten one out. Count now at 2-2. That one is popped up. That one is going to go out to shallow right field. Schallenberger going to get another one. A couple of easy pop-ups will lead to Pavin Parks, who has continued to see his OBP continue to rise and rise and rise. He has been one of the hottest hitters for this Otters team. That 2 home run, 5 strikeout, 5 RBI game where he pitched and hit, the staple of the weekend against Joliet. But he's got 2 outs. That runner over at second still. First pitch taken for a strike. He'll start behind 0-1. So the Otters start with a leadoff single from Mendham. A wild pitch gets him to second base, but a couple of fly-outs to right, not deep enough to advance him. Still that runner at second with 2 away now, but still a hit away from scoring. Parks ready. Awaits the 0-1 pitch. That one runs outside and evens it up at 1-1. Pavin entering with a 5-game on-base streak. Next one in there for a strike. Now the count moves to 1-2, so yet another 1-2 count. Galva trying to work around the single and wild pitch. Pavin in the left-handed batter's box, staring down the southpaw with a 1-2 count. That one runs high. It evens it up at 2-2. Plenty of sun here in the ballpark. The sun, unlike Bosse Field, is more to the right of the field. The shadows over to the left of the players. Another 2-2 pitch. Line drive in right center field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to score Mendham with ease. He's going to go all the way to the wall, and Parks is going to jog into second base with a 2-out double to get the Otters on the board early. So a 2-strike, 2-out double for Pavin Parks. The Otters with an early lead, and now it's LJ Jones who tries to stay hot. After last week, he was absolutely amazing for this Otters squad. All 4 of his home runs have come. I should say all 3 of his home runs have come in this last week. First pitch taken for a strike, and starts behind 0-1. The former Springfield Cardinal, drafted in the 5th round of the 2020 MLB draft, back at least near St. Louis. The 0-1 pitch outside and high, and now the count moves to 1-1. LJ with a 308 average, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs this last week, had a 692 slugging last week. 1-1, that's a number up the middle. The shortstop, Diaz, is going to bring it in, throw on the run in time for out number 3, but not before the Otters get on the board with a Pavin Parks 2-out double. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Otters leading by 1. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and our 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Back here in Sauget, Illinois, Gabe Holt leading it off against Parker Brahms. Brahms, the right-handed pitcher, delivers the first pitch outside for a ball. He starts behind 1-0. Holt, the left-handed hitter, the leadoff hitter for Gateway. Making his 33rd appearance of the year. That one is fouled back overhead, an overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Holt entering with a .468 on-base percentage. Takes that one for a strike now. It's a 1-2 count. Now he'll call time and try to reset himself. He's been so good at getting on base. Speaking of Mindham's walk-to-strikeout ratio, Gabe Holt, 23 walks, just 8 strikeouts on the year. Does not strike out and gets on base a ton. So Brahms, the 1-2. That one is fouled off, and we'll do it again. Saw a lot. The Otters in the first inning did a lot of battling, and this guy at the plate who does a ton of that as well. 1-2. Swing and a miss for a strike. 3. German American Bank strikeout, the first of the night for Parker Brahms. A great start. A tough batter to strike out and did it to him there. And with one away, it's now Victor Castillo. A couple of left-handed batters at the top of this lineup, followed by the righty DJ Stewart and another lefty in Mark Schallenberger, and then 8 and 9 are both switch hitters. So first pitch taken inside for a ball and start behind another batter 1-0. So it'll be a lot of lefties in a row for Brahms to deal with. Next pitch taken for a strike, and it evens up at 1-1. So Brahms, the next pitch, just misses. So that makes it 2-1. Brahms following Braden Scott's fantastic outing to start against Joliet. Trying to do something similar here. 2-1. Checked his swing to Castillo, but made contact, so fouled that one off, and now it makes the count 2-2. Now Castillo steps out of the box and calls time, and now he's back in. Castillo in his 39th game for Gateway this year enters with a .431 on base percentage, 7 home runs. 2-2, just misses outside. Count runs full. Trying to bend that one back door, but just didn't catch it. Castillo entering his second year as a Gateway Grizzly last year in 47 games, a .318 batting average, 3 home runs. Has added some pop this year. The 3-2 pitch popped up towards left. That one is hooking. Benson running towards the Otters bullpen, reaches over, but I don't believe he brought it in, and he didn't. A bench down there right behind the Otters bullpen where all the pitchers are sitting, and they all scattered, but Benson just couldn't hang on to it. So we'll do the 3-2 pitch once again. The Otters in their gray uniforms tonight. The Grizzlies in their baby blues with the Grizzlies on the bats. Very similar to the Cardinals logo, obviously just outside of St. Louis. Let's say in the shadow of the arch, across the river. Next 3-2, that one is a chopper towards third. Bobbled by Mendham. It's going to be a long throw, not in time. So Castillo is going to reach, and they get a runner on with only one away, and it's next to DJ Stewart. They're going to rule that one an error on Mendham over at third base. Mentioned this is Mendham's first start at third base this year, but the Otters dealing with some injuries. So that's DJ Stewart. Check over at first on Castillo, nothing doing. Castillo enters with 7 stolen bases and 11 attempts. Stewart entering with a .394 OBP, 8 home runs to 9 doubles, 16 walks to just 12 strikeouts. That one is through the gap in the infield between short and third, and now back-to-back runners are going to reach after that single. And with one away, it's Mark Schallenberger, a tough test here for Brom early in this start. Schallenberger, the former University of Evansville standout, trying to do some damage here early, and he has been on fire. Has homered in back-to-back games. Did both of those against Mississippi. As an RBI in 5 straight games. Now Brahms, the first pitch, just misses outside, and he'll start behind 1-0. Just couldn't get the call there. So work from behind Schallenberger. Saw it when he was with UE, just gets on base all the time. A tough out. And now he's got a big spot here early in this one. The 1-0. Chops that one foul, and that's going to even it up at 1-1. Schallenberger on the year, entering with a .460 OBP, 6 home runs, 8 doubles, and a triple. They're playing 5 seasons for Evansville. Brahms, a throwback to second, not in time, as Castillo just got back in time. Trying to dance over there at second base. Threw it back to Paven Parks, who's playing shortstop tonight. It's Mendham at third, Paven Parks at shortstop, J.J. Cruz at second, Logan Brown at first. Behind the plate, Justin Felix with J.T. Benson in left, Graham Brown in center, and Keenan Taylor out in right field. The next pitch in there for a strike. And now Schallenberger down 1-2. Last year with UE had 17 home runs, 45 walks to just 28 strikeouts. A .514 on base, .687 slugging, and he has made an imprint here early in his professional career. 1-2 in the dirt. Great stop by Felix. Count moves to 2-2. Brahms has done a fantastic job all year, limiting walks. Again, his real kryptonite has been the long ball. 6 home runs given up to 12 earned runs. Just 8 walks, has 27 strikeouts. And now is set a 2-2 pitch into Schallenberger. Swing and a miss for a strike 3. His second German-American makes strikeout of the inning. And now with 2 away, he's 1 out from getting out of this inning unharmed, but it's a tough out in Paxton Wallace. Wallace, who's dealt with injuries throughout this year, just making his 5th appearance on the season. Enters with a .412 batting average, 7 hits with a double. And he's got a couple of runners out there. Brahms set. Deliver the first pitch to the right-handed hitting Wallace. He fouls that one back, and he'll start behind 0-1. So obviously early in the season, Wallace trying to just stay healthy, I suppose. Just trying to stay in these games and be able to help provide here for Gateway. The 26-year-old out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Played last year with Schaumburg for 40 games. Played some with York in the Atlantic League. That pitch runs low, and the count evens up at 1-1. Felix gets a new baseball, now throws it back to Brahms. Castillo over at second, DJ Stewart at first. Base hit would probably tie it. The former Wichita State Shocker in Paxton Wallace. Looks back now, delivers. Chopper towards second. Cruz will take it in on a hop. Throw to first in time for out number 3. So Gateway threatens but puts no one across. The Otters still leading by 1. Will head to the 2nd inning. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Welcome back into Arsenal BG Ballpark. The Otters with a 1-0 lead here early in this game. We enter the 2nd inning. It'll be Logan Brown, Keenan Taylor, J.J. Cruz to meet the starter Claudio Galva after giving up the 2-out double to Pavin Parks in the last inning. We'll try to reset and keep this 1-run deficit where it's at, but a tough part of the lineup with how these guys have been hitting. First with Logan Brown. What a start he's had to his season. He waits the first pitch. He laces that one to left field. That one's hooking. That one's going to get down in fair territory all the way to the corner. Logan Brown heading from first to second base. And a leadoff double will have Logan Brown at second base. So the second straight inning where the Otters have a runner at second with no one out. He attacked the first pitch. He does that often, and he did it again there. And that'll lead to Keenan Taylor, who is having a scorching June, trying to keep it up with what he's done so far. He'll step into the right-handed batter's box, entering today's matchup with a .357 batting average, tied with the lead with 7 home runs for the season this year. And now the first pitch from the lefty Galva is taken high for a ball, and he starts ahead 1-0. He's made, similar to what JT Benson has done, an imprint early. Him, Benson, Graham Brown, all of them. Imprints early with this team. That pitch runs inside. Now it goes to 2-0. His rookie season, he has been, if not the best, one of the best hitters for the Otters. That one in the dirt. It's going to get past, and now Brown's going to take third base. So another wild pitch. And with no one out and 3 balls to Keenan Taylor, a Huge opportunity here for the Otters in the second inning. Taylor's been so good at driving in runners this year. 26 RBIs coming into this one. And a quick conversation between the catcher Alvarez and Galva, and now he'll walk back behind the plate, trying to help his pitcher get through this. Taylor second in RBIs for the Otters this year, only behind Graham Brown's 28. He's done a lot of that damage with 2 outs. So now the infield playing in, trying to keep that runner from scoring. 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Taylor took a step out of the batter's box thinking it was ball 4, but still a 3-1 count now. The 3-1, that is ripped into right field. On his way back is Schallenberg, a couple of feet in front of the track. Brown is going to test him. Throw into the plate, just not in time, and add another run for the Otters. They now lead 2-0 on the sac fly from Keenan Taylor. A huge run there. They already have a 2-0 lead, and hopefully this offense can keep it going. Next is J.J. Cruz. A loud home run against Joliet in his last game. A 443-foot home run. Then made the Otters lead 3-1 before they coughed it up in the 7th and 8th innings. Going up against the lefty here. First pitch low and away. And he jumps ahead 1-0. Cruz has been heating up. Trying to keep it going here. The 1-0 inside. Now he's going to jump ahead 2-0. Cruz enters with a .224 batting average. Likes to swing. Does have 19 RBIs on the year. A couple of home runs. Both of them have been long home runs, too. 2-0. Laced into right field. That's going to get down for a hit. Another Otters base hit. Their third of the night, second of the inning. And with 1 away, it's the 9-0 hitter Justin Felix before the top of the lineup comes back. Cruz continues to swing the bat, and swing the bat well. Now it's Justin Felix going to try to help out his pitcher. A guy who loves to walk. Will attack the first pitch. Check over it first. Cruz is back plenty of time. If you leave that pitch over the heart of the plate, he will attack it. Otters leading 2-0 here. Early in this one, just the top of the second inning. 4 hits already early in this ball game. First pitch to Felix. Checked his swing. Stays high. He'll start ahead 1-0. Leadoff double followed by a wild pitch and the sac fly from Keenan Taylor, but J.J. Cruz got the Otters started again with that single. The 1-0 swung through that one. Hefty swing from him, came up with nothing. Count moves to 1-1. Felix is set once again. The 1-1 inside and hit him. So now runners at first and second with only 1 away for the Otters, and it gets back to the top of the lineup and David Mendham. So tough start here early in this one for Galva. Again, entering with a 3.18 ERA this year, but in 9 innings at home, does have a 5 ERA. Already given up a couple of runs. Didn't give up a run until his 7th outing. First pitch taken, and Mendham will start ahead 1-0. Since then, he gave up a run against Windy City, 2 against Tri-City, and then 5 against Schaumburg. Again, started more as a reliever to begin the year, though. Now he's got runners on first and second with 1 away. Pulled the string, got Mendham out in front, and he's even the count at 1-1. Mendham, after missing about 3 weeks of the season, has come back and looked like the old David Mendham we've seen these last couple of years. That pitch just catches the zone, and now Mendham behind 1-2. Saw Mendham in a 1-2 count in his last at-bat. He drew it out with a great battle and ended up singling up the middle. J.J. Cruz over at second. Felix at first. One away, one in. Now the 1-2 pitch into David Mendham. Pulled the string, got him swinging. The first strikeout of the game for the Otters offensively. And with 2 away, it'll lead to Graham Brown. We talked about Keenan Taylor's ability to drive in runners with 2 outs, but Graham Brown's been just as good. The 2 RBI leaders, both with 13 2-out RBIs. And he's trying to get some more here. As with 2 away and runners at first and second, he'll face Galva. The southpaw got him to fly out to right field in his first at-bat. The first pitch swinging, that one laced in the right field. Schaumburger on his way. He's going to get over his head and get over the wall for a ground rule double. So add another run for Evansville. They lead 3-0. That Graham Brown double. Hard hit, and with that short porch over and right, got over the wall. And now the runners at second and third with 2 away. JT Benson also flew out to right his first at-bat. So Benson stepping into the right-handed batter's box for Evansville. Trying to keep this inning alive. 2 runners in scoring position. The first pitch, chopper towards third. That one's going to get it foul, and he'll start behind 0-1. First pitch swinging for Graham Brown. Left it over the plate, and he took advantage. You see some fans out there on the short porch and right. Some kids jumping around, having fun, and an area that allows for balls to get over that wouldn't in other places. That one is swung on and missed. It didn't make contact, and it gets past the catcher, but not far enough to advance anyone, so we'll just have a 1-2 or an 0-2 count. As Benson's going to have to battle here to try to drive in one or both of those runners. It's a double wall from center to left with a 318 down the line, and then the short wall down the right field, at least until it gets to the very right side of the field of the Wall of Fame. Count 0-2 here to the Otters left fielder tonight. That one stays high, and Benson gets back into the count with a 1-2 count. The Cardinals playing not too far away from here. They playing their rival Cubs. We got Gateway Otters here. And Benson goes down swinging on that one. But the Otters get a couple across. They lead 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and our 96.9 WYIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCasa.com.
We enter the bottom of the second inning. Parker Brahms out there now with a 3-run lead. He worked through some traffic in the first inning. Got a strikeout to lead off the inning, but then put runners on first and second, one through an error, the other one with a single. Then struck out Mark Schallenberger and then got Paxton Walls to ground out. And that was his first inning. Now he'll have Dale Thomas, Jose Alvarez, Edwin Mateo, and then the bottom of the lineup, Abdiel Diaz. Dale Thomas, the right-handed hitting third baseman, comes to the plate trying to get this inning started here for Gateway as they trail 3-0. Thomas entering his 38th game for Gateway with a .281 batting average, 5 home runs, 7 stolen bases, 18 walks to 34 strikeouts. First pitch just stays high, and he'll start ahead 1-0. Thomas trying to get a leadoff runner. Next pitch just misses inside. Now it's a 2-0 count to the Grizzlies' third baseman. Thomas in his second season with Gateway. The next pitch, chopper towards third. It's going to be the shortstop, Paven Parks, on the run, throwing into from the hole, but can't make the play as Thomas beats it out for an infield single. A play that was in between Mindham and Parks. Paven went and got it, a long throw to first, but with the speed of Dale Thomas, no chance of getting him. And so a leadoff base runner for Gateway as they try to threaten this 3-0 Otters lead. Next is Jose Alvarez, the catcher in this ball game. In his second season with Gateway, first pitch swing, fouls that one off. He'll start behind 0-1. Formerly with the Houston Astros and a season with the Springfield Cardinals back in 2023. Made it as high as AAA within the Astros organization. Only played one game with Sugarland. Now the 0-1 pitch, Thomas takes off. That one is blooped into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. The hit and run works. And now it's going to be runners on first and third with no one away here. If that one's hit just a little bit shorter or a little bit more in the air, Logan Brown maybe would have gotten to it, but instead you have runners on the corners with no one out for Edwin Mateo as he tries to get one or both of those runners in somehow, some way. Otters leading 3-0 here early in this one, bottom of the second inning. One run in the first, two in the second, but now the Grizzlies threatening. The center fielder awaits the first pitch. He takes that one for a strike, and Brahms ahead of another batter, 0-1. Mateo in his second season as a Gateway Grizzly enters with a .293 batting average, a couple of home runs, a .326 OBP, a guy who likes to swing, only 8 walks in 33 games. Takes that pitch, just missed. Count evens up at 1-1. Tried to bend that one backdoor, but just couldn't get it to find the zone. So runners in the corner, still no one away. The 1-1 pitch into Mateo. That one is lifted into right center field. Brown is going to move over to get it and bring it in for out number 1. Runner is going to tag. The throw in is going to be cut off by Brown, and a run will score on the sac fly from Edwin Mateo. So Gateway on the board, 1-3. They're still trailing Evansville. That runner stayed at first base, and with one away, it's the 9-hole hitter, Abdiel Diaz, the shortstop. Diaz only in his 7th game of the year in the left-handed batter's box. Another switch hitter at the bottom of this lineup. Check over at first, nothing doing. Diaz in his 5th season with the Gateway Grizzlies. Again, only in 6 games, a .407 batting or a .407 on base percentage. First pitch taken high, and he starts behind another batter. Last year had a .272 batting average, .360 on base percentage, had 6 home runs, 17 doubles, 3 triples, 45 walks to 46 strikeouts. That pitch runs high, count moves to 2-0. And now Felix going to go out there and talk with his pitcher. Hot day here at Arsenal BG Ballpark. The wind blowing in a little bit, not a hefty wind blowing in by any means, but still a little bit wind coming in, but still a team-friendly ballpark, hitter-friendly ballpark, I should say. And now Felix will come back behind the plate after that meeting. A 2-0 count to the 9-0 hitter Diaz. The 2-0 there, in there for a strike, finds a zone after that conversation. Count moves to 2-1. Diaz, the 30-year-old out of Cali Community College before playing with Tabor College for a couple years in the NIIA. That pitch in there for a strike. Now he evens it up at 2-2. Diaz started ahead 2-0. Now the count's 2-2. Brahms is set and delivers the 2-2 pitch. Just runs outside. Now the count's full. Brahms worked through some traffic in the first inning, working through some more here. Did give up a run. Otters still leading 3-1. The 3-2 count. Payoff pitch, runner takes off. That one's a grounder towards second base. Pavin Parks brings it in. Tag second for one. Throw to first is high. And the play at second was bang, bang, and they're going to call him safe as Pavin did not get over there in time. Wow, it was... Now McCauley's out because it looked like it was bang, bang. I'll say that, but from here in the press box... Looked like he was going to be out. Parks tried to make a quick throw to first. I don't think he was going to be in time anyways, but he airmailed it. Thankfully, it bounced right back to Brown, so no runners advanced. McCauley obviously upset. This is the crew from the last series. In fact, the third base umpire, Jacob Cackett, was the umpire that did throw out TJ Zarsowicz. So... Alvarez safe at second, Diaz over at first. So reaches via the fielder's choice, everyone's safe. And with one away and runners at first and second for the second straight inning, it's the leadoff hitter Gabe Holt who struck out swinging his first time up. Mentioned during that at bat, doesn't strike out a ton. Only 8 strikeouts going into that bat, now 9. First pitch, high fly ball in the right field. Back on it is Taylor. A couple of feet in front of the track. He'll bring it in for out number 2. Runner is going to tag from second. Throw to third is cut off by Parks. So runner will advance 90 extra feet on the flyout. And with 2 away, it's Victor Castillo, who tries to bring in one of those runners, that one from third ideally. First pitch swinging there for Gabe Holt, and just missed it. So Felix steps out, gives some signs. Obviously that runner at first is Abdiel Diaz. 3 for 4 in his short time. Could steal here, and we'll see if the Otters want to throw down. Brahms steps off. And we'll see if Otters do throw down, if he does take off, if they'll try to send the runner at third, Jose Alvarez. First pitch in the dirt, stopped by Felix. Kept it in front of him, and the runner at first stays put. But he'll start behind this batter 1-0. Castillo reached via the air in his first at-bat. That was a hard grounder towards third. Brahms trying to keep this 2-run lead for the Otters. Next pitch, checked his swing, but it's in there for a strike either way. Count evens up at 1-1. And throw it over to first, not in time, as Brahms was keeping an eye on him. That's that is 2 disengagements for Brahms. We'll see now if the runner at first, Diaz, wants to take off. Count at 1-1. First step for Diaz. Now he's back. Now he does take off. 1-1 pitch. They will throw it down to second. That one in the dirt, not in time. Runner does stay at third on the bounce throw. Pitch was a ball, so that count moves to 2-1. So now 2 runners in scoring position. The tying run over at second base. Base hit could make this a 3-1 game, a 3-3 game, but Brahms trying to keep this lead where it's at. He's been good at working through traffic all year. Him and Braden Scott have both shown prowess at doing that, and now he's trying to do the same here. Castillo awaits the 2-1 pitch in the left-handed batter's box. Breaking ball fouled off, and now the count moves to 2-2. Tried to backdoor it, maybe he left a little bit too much over the plate, but Castillo still got under it, and count evens up at 2-2. Strike away from getting out of this jam. Castillo takes time. Now he steps back into the box. .32 RBIs on the season for Castillo, second for the Grizzlies. Trying to add to that count. Brahms now set and delivers. That one is fouled off by Castillo, and we'll do it again. Just barely made contact. Was Castillo trying to stay alive? Brahms trying to blow it by him, but couldn't do it there. On deck is DJ Stewart, who singled. After that is Mark Schallenberger. Brahms set once again. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Another German-American bank strikeout, his third on the night, and he gets out of the jam. Did give up a run, but the Otters still lead 3-1 as we head to the third inning. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and a 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Through 2 innings so far here at Arsenal BG Ballpark, Otters leading 3-1. It'll be their 4, 5, 6 hitters, Paven Parks, LJ Jones, and Logan Brown. Parks and Brown both with doubles already in this game against Galva. A couple of innings where we've had bases with plenty of runners. Brahms has stranded 4 runners already, while Galva's stranded 3. Galva's allowed 3 runs. Brahms only allowed 1. That is the difference so far in this game. The sac fly from Keenan Taylor and then the 2-out double from Graham Brown, the 2 runs last inning. Now Galva is finished with his warm-up. Paven will step up and get this inning started. He continues to stay hot. He has been fantastic for the Otters since turning it around in the month of June with a .540 slugging percentage, and really that's been kind of the last couple of weeks. It wasn't really the beginning of the month. First pitch taken for a ball. He'll start ahead 1-0. He struggled a little bit early in the season. Wasn't exactly not hitting the ball hard, just not finding the holes, and then started taking so many good at-bats. Takes that pitch for a strike, evens up at 1-1. Started drawing more walks. His OBP continued to rise. Up at 382 in the month of June. Takes that pitch outside for a ball. Count moves 2-1. 9 walks in the month of June to 22 strikeouts. 2-1 swing through that one as Galva pulled the string, and now counts even up at 2-2. It was a 2-2 pitch where he doubled to right center field in the first at-bat. We have some shade coming in this field. It comes out from outside the field as the sun goes down to the right of the field. I guess you could say it's to the east of the field. The 2-2 pitch swung through that one, and he goes down swinging. Down at 83 miles per hour did Galva go on that one. And with one away, it's L.J. Jones stepping in with a 390 June average. Has all 3 of his home runs in June. A 610 slugging percentage. We mentioned early in the year, hit the ball a lot, but just couldn't find gaps. He's starting to find those gaps. First pitch taken for a ball, he starts ahead 1-0. Had multiple hits in Joliet that were up and way above 100 miles per hour. A couple of hits that were taken away from him when they were above that pitch. Pulled the string, got him swinging through that one, and evens it up at 1-1. Galva, not a guy who's going to blow you away with speed, but he's got some good stuff. Now the 1-1 did it again. Count moves to 1-2. Now Jones calls time as back-to-back off-speed pitches pulling the string on him. Just couldn't come up with it. Seen Galva go as high as 90 miles per hour in this outing. His off-speed's down at 81, 82. So the next 1-2 pitch from Galva. Pulled string again, but Jones able to make contact with it as he fouls it off, and will do it again. So 3 straight of those off-speed pitches. See if he tries to do it one more time or wants to dial up a fastball. Galva looks into Alvarez. Now he comes set and delivers the next 1-2. Did it again. Pulled the string. That one is more outside and got him swinging back-to-back strikeouts to start this inning. And with 2 away, it's the first baseman tonight, Logan Brown, who doubled to start the second inning. That got that 2-run second inning started. Galva has gone with a lot of first pitch fastballs. Logan Brown took one of those into left field into the corner in his last at-bat. First pitch. Called strike in the outside corner. That one did not throw a fastball to him. Trying to change it up on him. So now Brown behind 0-1. The next pitch, another one with off speed. That one at 84. Now an 0-2 count. So he's starting to find his stride with these off-speed pitches against this Otters team. Brown in the left-handed batter's box. No batting gloves. An old-school type of hitter. 0-2 runs high, moves to 1-2. Brown with a 1-2 count. Next pitch, ripped right towards the second baseman for out number 3. A hard hit, but hard out, all it ends up being. So Galva goes 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Otters still leading 3-1. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and our 96.9 WYIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com.
We head to the bottom of the third inning. Parker Brahms out there for another inning of work. He'll start with DJ Stewart, followed by Mark Schallenberger and Paxton Wallace. Tries to work a clean inning here. Gave up a run last one, did strand two. He stranded two in both innings, stranded two in the first inning, runners at first and second, then stranded runners at second and third last inning to maintain this Otters 3-1 lead. He worked a 7-inning complete game in his last outing and then has been around 2 to 4 runs given up all year. Again, really, it's been the home run that's bit him and tries to avoid that trend tonight versus DJ Stewart, who's hit plenty of home runs this year already. First pitch to him. First pitch swinging, fouls that one off, and he'll start behind 0-1. He's seen 2 pitches tonight. He's swung at both of them, has DJ Stewart. Brahms on the far first base side of the mound. The 0-1 just runs inside. It evens it up at 1-1. Brahms, a guy who pitches exclusively from the stretch, but does a good job at kind of cross-fading his pitches where he goes into those right-handed batters. And that one is fouled up overhead, and that 1-2 count, followed by the overhead foul ball, brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. Gateway in 4th of the Frontier League with home runs. Otters in 6th. That pitch up high, checked his swing, did not go. Count evens up at 2-2. 40 home runs on the year for Gateway. Like I said, good enough for 4th in the Frontier League. Evansville 37 at 6th. A couple of high home run hitting teams at a very hitter-friendly ballpark. The 2-2 from Brahms. Inside, and now the count runs full. Stewart doing a good job working this count. Stewart has 38th appearance for the Grizzlies this year, leading the team in home runs with 8. As a payoff pitch from Brahms, he fouls that one off, and we'll do it again. These Grizzlies making Brahms work early in this one. Already 48 pitches. Has not recorded an out in the 3rd yet. Again, went 109 in his last outing against Washington. Before that, had not gone over 100. 3-2, lace towards the shortstop Parks. Brings it in. Throw on the run to first in time for out number 1. A hard hit out number 1 for Evansville. And with 1 away, it'll be Mark Schallenberger. Schallenberger went down swinging in his first at-bat. He steps into the left-handed batter's box with 1 away. Brahms is set and ready to deliver the first pitch to Schallenberger. Taking first strike, he starts behind 0-1. Brahms is set once again, trying to work fairly quickly. The 0-1 pitch stays high, evens it up at 1-1. Schallenberger at 24 years old from St. Louis, Missouri. The 5-year veteran of the Purple Aces. Has been a star for Gateway here. Nubber, that's a short roller. Third baseman Mindham will have to charge it. Throw to first. Bang, bang play. Not in time, says the first base umpire, Michael Green. We've seen a lot of bang, bang plays not go Evansville's way, and another one doesn't go their way there. That one was a wild off the bat. It was hefty swing that went off the bat a weird way. It was a difficult play for Mindham, but man, that was one of those plays where you want that call. Let's just say that. With 1 away and a runner at first, it's now Paxton Wallace. First pitch, he went on a pitch too high, and he'll start behind 0-1. Wallace grounded out to second base to end the first inning. Stranded a couple of runners there. Another one of those, maybe we can get a double play going here. check over at first. Schallenberger was getting off there, but just couldn't get it in time, and he'll get back safely. 0-1 count to Paxton Walsh, only making his 5th start of the season. Has missed quite a bit of time due to injury. That pitch in there for a strike. Now he's behind 0-2 and has to work. Wallace, the 26-year-old out of Little Rock, Arkansas, stands at 6 foot. Played with Joliet back in 2022. Spent some time with the Kansas City Royals organization in 2023. As high as AAA. 0-2 fouls that one back, and we'll do it again. With the Omaha Storm Chasers, played in 4 games for them. Had a 500 average. It's not like he didn't hit the ball well. Joined Schaumburg but last year in 2024, and now is playing for Gateway here. He's at an 0-2 count. Brahms set and delivers. Chopper towards third. Mendham takes it in. Throw to second for 1. Throw to first. That one is going to be in time for a Hoosier Lottery double play. So ball doesn't lie, as they say. The double play ends the inning. And the Otters will come back to bat in the 4th, still leading 3-1. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and the 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's vandcasa.com.
Back here in the 4th inning, Galva finishing his warm-up as he'll face the 7-8-9 hitters Keenan Taylor, J.J. Cruz, Justin Felix. Keenan Taylor, sac fly, J.J. Cruz a single. Felix was hit by a pitch the last time they came to the plate. Now Keenan Taylor steps up 0 for 0 on the day after flying out to right field to score. Logan Brown his last time up, takes that first pitch for a strike, starts behind 0-1. Galva, after giving up a lot of traffic the first 2 innings, got the inning down by the side, including 2 strikeouts the last time up. That pitch low for a ball, and now the count evens it up at 1-1. So now with a 1-1 count, Taylor awaits the first pitch. Pulled the string, foul, tipped it back into the glove, and now he's behind 1-2. Taylor's been great at hitting with 2 strikes this year, trying to do some more of that. The 1-2 outside, now we even it up at 2-2. the former Purdue Boilermaker, who has been excellent for the Otters this year, especially in June, fouls that one overhead. And an overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. Taylor in a battle here. That one's laced in the right field. Schallenberg on his way back to the track, to the wall. He leaps. That one is off the top of the wall. He can't find it. Taylor is still running because he can't find it. It's right in front of Schallenberger. It's right in front of Schallenberger. Taylor's still running. They're going to rule it a double. I thought it was right in front of him, but I guess that's the weird sign. I guess it did get stuck in the wall. It will be a ground rule double. That one just missed a home run on the short fence out and right. The umpire ran out there. The first base umpire, Michael Green, went out and ran for it, saw that it was stuck in the wall, in fact. Looked like it was just in front of him, but that must be something else out there. Either way, it is a double to lead off the inning for Keenan Taylor. Laced. That one just missed being a home run. Just missed being a home run. So now it's J.J. Cruz. He singled his last time up. Looking to do some more damage. First pitch, takes it for a strike. He starts behind 0-1. So the third inning of 4. The Otters have a runner in scoring position with no one away. J.J. Cruz trying to take advantage of that leadoff double from Keenan Taylor. That pitch ripped down the first base line. It gets past the first baseman, Stewart. It's going to get to the bullpen of Gateway. Taylor's going to score easily. Cruz is going to jog into second base. They'll switch places. Back-to-back doubles have the Otters with another run. They lead 4-1. J.J. Cruz, what an at-bat. Left that off-speed pitch up in the zone. He turned on it, just kept it fair. And the Otters lead 4-1 early in this game. And now Justin Felix steps up. Was hit by a pitch his last at-bat. Still a runner at second with no one out. So Felix awaits. He squares on a bunt, pulls it back. It's outside for a ball. He'll start ahead 1-0. So the Otters offense coming out early, same way we saw it in Joliet. Next pitch fouled that one off and evens it up at 1-1. McCauley not afraid to make Felix bunt. Squared around that first pitch, but was swinging on the second one. We'll see what he wants to do here. Runner at second is J.J. Cruz. Still no one out in this inning. Otters leading 4-1 after a run comes in to score here in the fourth. Felix does square around a bunt, gets it down the third base line. The pitcher will bring it in, throw to first in time. Galva, the left-hander, had to make a spin and did get it cleanly. Sack bunt, and with one away, Cruz is at third for the leadoff hitter David Mendham. The Hoosier Lottery leadoff hitter of the game. He'll step into the left-handed batter's box. He's working on his 1-for-2 day. Singled back in the first, struck out in the second. Infield is in once again. If they try to keep this 3-run Otters lead where it's at. First pitch taken outside for a ball. He'll start ahead 1-0. Mendham, a guy who doesn't strike out a ton, even though he struck out in his last at-bat. A huge bat back in the Otters lineup. The next pitch, chopper, right back to the shortstop, Diaz, who backhands it and keeps Cruz where it's at. A hard hit ball, but right to the shortstop. And with 2 away, that runner still at third. It's going to need to be a Graham Brown hit or a mistake from the pitcher Galva to be able to score that runner from third. Brown doubled in a run his last time up. It was a 2-out double. It was a first pitch that he swung at. The first pitch to him here. He swings at that one. He pops it up behind the plate and out of play. He can start behind 0-1. Brown, the former Coastal Carolina star. Stats didn't look good in Joliet, but he hit the ball hard a ton. That pitch is hit high in the air towards left. Castillo is not going to have to go back too far, and he will eventually come in and bring it in for out number 3. So a high fly out to end the inning. The Otters do get another run. They lead 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Otters leading 4-1. Brahms, after stranding 2 runners in both of the first 2 innings, gave up the 1-out infield single before getting Paxton Walls to ground it to a double play. And he will face Dale Thomas, Jose Alvarez, and Edwin Mateo to start this inning off. Dale Thomas led off the 2nd inning with a single, and he'll try to do the same here. Thomas into the right-handed batter's box. Brahms now ready and set. The first pitch to Thomas. First pitch just misses, and Thomas will start ahead 1-0. Thomas with a .281 batting average. Fouls that one up and overhead. An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. So now with a 1-1 count. Dale Thomas, the 24-year-old out of Orlando, Florida, in his 2nd year with Gateway. Launches that one to left field. Over to it is Benson. He dives, and he makes the grab. What a play from JT Benson, laying out for it. Not the first time we've seen him do it this year, but every time it looks fantastic. Takes a hit away from Dale Thomas, and there is one away. JT Benson, what a huge play. That was extra bases written all over it. First pitch to Alvarez is fouled off, and he'll start behind 0-1. Benson has showed his speed plenty of times, but he also has made some great reads off the bat, and he did it again there. Fantastic play. And now Brahms, with 1 away, is facing Jose Alvarez. Alvarez singled his last time up. He fouls that one up and away, and now the count is at 0-2 after a couple of foul balls. He got as far as third base before getting stranded on the Victor Castillo strikeout. He calls time. It's a fun game over at Busch Stadium, just across the river from us. 5-5 between them and the Cubs. The 0-2 to Alvarez is taken in there for strike three looking. Another German-American bank strikeout for Parker Brahms, and with 2 away, it is Edwin Mateo to try to extend this 4th inning. Parker Brahms is dealing right now. He has been fantastic for the Otters. He's dealt with some traffic, but he is setting down these Grizzlies very well right now and tries to do the same here. Edwin Mateo steps into the left-hander batter's box. First pitch swinging. He's behind that one. He starts behind 0-1. It's Wizarding World Day here at the ballpark. All of the Grizzlies players with their Hogwarts robes on in their video board. 0-1, squares on a bump, pulls it back, evens up at 1-1. Apparently Edwin Mateo is a Hufflepuff. Brahms trying to go 1-2-3 here with a 1-1 count to Edwin Mateo, the center fielder. The 1-1 ripped into right field. That one is hooking. It's going to stay fair and into the stands just behind the Gateway bullpen. And so a ground rule double extends the inning to Abdiel Diaz with a runner in scoring position. That was laced off the bat of Edwin Mateo. Went up to get it and got it. So now Diaz against Brahms, another runner in scoring position. The third of 4 innings this has happened for Gateway, but only have been able to push across the run in the second. Check over down to second, throws it away from Parks, does get a glove on it, and cruises over there to snag it in time to keep that runner at second, but Mateo obviously back in with time. Would have been a close play if the throw was on him, but just a little bit too far. Still no pitch here to Diaz. Again, he's also back from injury. Him and Paxton Walls both dealing with some injury this year. Big lead for Mateo at second. First pitch swinging. He's behind that one, and he's behind 0-1. And that diving catch from Benson looks even bigger now after that double from Mateo. Grounded it to short last time. Benefit of a bang-bang call that went the way of Gateway. 0-1 towards second. Cruz will bring it in and throw it to first for out number 3. So a 2-out double isn't able to come across, and no one scores in this inning. They strand their 5th runner of the game, does Gateway. They're still trailing 4-1 as the Otters have the lead as we head to the 5th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Galva out there for his 5th inning of work, and it's the Buffalo Wild Wings 5th inning, because it's back at Buffalo Wild Wings. All you can eat wings and fries Monday through Thursday, now including traditional wings. That's right, all the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce, just $19.99 for boneless and $24.99 for traditional. Monday through Thursday for a limited time only. Drive-in only. Visit either Evansville locations, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Greenville Road for details. So Galva finishes off his warm-up. He'll have to face Benson, Paven Parks, and L.J. Jones in this inning. JT Benson, after that fantastic catch out and left, is looking for his first hit of the night. He is 0 for 2 after a pop out to right field over to Schallenberger and a strikeout swinging in his last at bat back in the second. Galva has settled down a little bit, did give up a run in the fourth after back-to-back leadoff doubles, but managed to get 3 straight outs to keep that runner from scoring. First pitch to Benson stays high, and he'll start ahead 1-0. Benson, the former Louisville Cardinal out of Louisville, Kentucky. The 1-0 fouls that one off, and it evens it up at 1-1. Batting in the 3-hole. He's been doing that for a couple of weeks now for Evansville. Played last year with Lake Country in his initial rookie season where he hit .286 with a couple of home runs, 4 doubles, 9 for 12 in stolen base attempts. Pulled the string out in front of it, now he's behind 1-2. Had 3 doubles in the series against Joliet, showed some power, trying to get this 5th inning started with a jolt. He's at a 1-2 count. Galva, the pitch, stays high, evens it up at 2-2. Galva, the southpaw, similar to Parker Brahms, the strictly out of the stretch. He's on the far third base side of the rubber. He's got a 2-2 pitch to Benson. Checked his swing, did not go, says the first base umpire. So now the count is full. Benson back into the right-handed batter's box. Pitch 85 on the night for Galva. Inside in the dirt, and that is a leadoff walk for JT Benson. Ton of speed for him at first. See if they want to potentially push a stolen base. That is the first walk of the night for either side. Galva did hit Justin Felix earlier, but strikingly not a lot of walks for a guy who does have a few walks this year. So Pavin Parks into the left-handed batter's box with a runner at first and no one out. Doubled in his first at-bat, struck out swinging his second time up to the plate. First pitch, low and away, and he starts ahead 1-0. So after having Benson at a 1-2 count, 3 straight pitches off the plate here for Galva. So Parks with a 1-0 count. The next pitch from Galva. Pulled the string, got him out in front, and he's ahead 1-1. So that's how we got Parks and LJ Jones last time he was up. Last time these two were up, I should say. Benson over at first base. Check over at first base, nothing doing. He's getting a little bit more jumpy over there at first. See if they want to test him out. 9 for 11 this year in stolen base attempts is JT Benson. There is a lefty on the mound, so it takes a little bit more work to read those guys. The 1-1 pitch to Parks swings through that. Off-speed pitch low, and now he's behind 1-2. Pavin takes time and messes with his equipment. Now steps back into the left-handed batter's box. 1-2 count. Benson over at first. That one's a looper into center field. In on it is Mateo. It's going to drop in front of him. And a bloop base hit. Have runners at first and second with no one away here in the 5th innings. The Otters try to extend their 4-1 lead. And now it's LJ Jones. Still looking for his first hit of the game, but he has been so good for the Otters in June. Jones DHing tonight. The Otters going with a different direction in their defense, and now we do have a mound visit. There is some action out in the Gateway bullpen, but no one warm. Galva through 4 innings so far, and the longest he's gone is 5. But he's got some traffic here early. Runners at first and second, no one away. And you've got L.J. Jones. Jones entering this ball game with a 9-game on-base streak. Him and Keenan Taylor both entering with 9-game on-base streaks. Taylor extended his to 10 with his double earlier. Jones trying to match him at a big moment here. Otters still leading 4-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. A couple of runners on, some big insurance runs to try to get out in front of this Gateway team. First pitch from Galva. Takes that one low for a ball. He starts ahead 1-0. This Gateway team's been so good at coming back. You want to try to get so far out ahead that you don't even give them a chance of coming back. 1-0 inside and low. Now it's a 2-0 count. And now time called from L.J. Jones. Looks like he got something in his eye and tries to get himself ready here. He's still got a 2-0 count. Still got a little bit in Joliet, especially with how much wind was going on with Joliet. Saw some potentially those turf pellets coming up into the air, into their eyes. So Galva, runners at first and second. 2-0 count to L.J. Jones is set and delivers. 2-0 swinging, laced into left field. That's going to get through for a base hit. Benson had to wait, and he's going to stay at third base. Dale Thomas did get in the way of him, but I don't think they're going to call him home because I don't think he was going to score either way. He just wanted to show it. So bases are going to be loaded with no one out for Logan Brown. The third baseman, Dale Thomas, was trying to cut off the throw and got in the base path of JT Benson, but nothing crazy. The pitcher warming up is Alec Whaley, and they're going to go to him. So Galva has done 4+ innings. He's got bases loaded, and he'll leave it to Alec Whaley and more on him. When we're back, you're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
New pitcher on the mound for Gateway is going to be Alec Whaley. Whaley on the mound, Alvarez behind the plate. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Whaley has been the go-to guy out of the bullpen for Gateway, making his 22nd appearance on the year. He's pitched in 19 2/3 innings, giving up just a 9.2 ERA. 23 strikeouts, 7 walks. They tend to use him here in high leverage situations, and they go to him here. A very high leverage situation. It feels like this could be a spot where this game gets out of hand for Gateway. I mentioned that they've had so many opportunities to come back. They've done so well in those opportunities, but if you go down by 4, 5, 6 runs, that can be extremely dangerous. Infield in. First pitch swinging is Brown. He fouls that one off. He gets behind 0-1. Whaley's entered with 20 runners inherited. By far the most of any Gateway pitcher. He's allowed 8 of those to score, about a 40% rate, but a big spot and still just minimizing damage. Has not allowed many of his runners to score. 0-1. In there for a strike. Now Brown behind 0-2. Infield in trying to cut that runner down from third. Brown with an 0-2 count, but loves to battle. Doesn't go down easily ever. Whaley is set. Far right side of the rubber. Pulled the string, got him swinging. A big out number one for Gateway. With one away, it's Keenan Taylor. Taylor with a sac fly in his first inning. His first at-bat. Second at-bat, a leadoff double. Came around to score in the J.J. Cruz double. That was the double that got stuck in the wall. It wasn't called until he was pretty much all the way home, but smart to keep running. The first pitch to Taylor. Lifted into center field. In on it is Mateo. Middle deep. Benson's going to test him. Throw home. Wide. It's going to be cut off by the pitcher. And another sac fly for Keenan Taylor. His second of the night. And now it's 5-1 Evansville. And with 2 away, it's J.J. Cruz trying to extend this inning and maybe get another run home. So Taylor doing his job, putting something into the air to get that runner to score. The Otters have scored their 5 runs in 4 of those 5 innings. 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Didn't score in the third. They scored 1 in the fourth and 1 in the fifth. Gateway has scored 1 in the second, and that is it. Now it's Cruz. First pitch. First pitch swinging high, pop up towards left. In on it is Castillo, and he will bring it in for out number 3. So the Otters get the bases loaded, only score 1, but they still lead 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Parker Brahms is back out on the mound, and so are all-you-can-eat wings and fries at Buffalo Wild Wings, Monday through Thursday, now including traditional wings. That's right, all the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce, just $19.99 for boneless and $24.99 for traditional wings. Mondays through Thursdays for a limited time, dine-in only. Visit either Evansville locations, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road, for details. Mentioned that Brahms is out there for another inning of work. Did give up a double with 2 away in the last inning, but other than that has been excellent these last few innings. Had stranded 4 through the first 2, but only allowed 1 runner to reach. Has allowed 2 runners to reach, I should say, on that infield single back in the 3rd inning, but cut him down after the double play from Paxton Walls. It's back to the top of the lineup and Gabe Holt as he tries to get this inning started on the right foot, as Evansville leading 5-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch, just inside for a ball, and he starts behind him 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is outside for a ball. Now it's 2-0 to Holt, who has been willing to take walks all year. No reason to change now. Doesn't strike out a ton. A sac fly in his second at-bat. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. Gets back in the count. The count moves to 2-1. Holt and difficult out as always. 2-1. In there for a strike, just caught the zone, and now count moves to 2-2. So Brahms behind 2-0, now works it back at 2-2 to Gabe Holt, who enters with a .369 batting average. 2-2, just threw his bat out there. It's a slow roll up the middle. Parks on the charge, throw to first, not in time. Another bang-bang play goes the way of Gateway, and an infield single to start this inning. So 2 of the last 3 hits given up by Brahms have both been infield singles. They've just barely not been outs. So now it's hold at first, and it leads to Victor Castillo. Reach via the air and also struck out swinging so far in this game. Check over at first on Holt, nothing doing. Holt over at first, 2 for 5 in stolen base attempts. First pitch, taken outside for a ball. He starts ahead 1-0. So struggling to get out ahead of these batters here in this inning. Next pitch swinging is Castillo. It evens up at 1-1. Castillo still looking for his first hit. Enters this at bat 0 for 2. Came into the game with a .313 batting average. Now he calls time. Brahms set once again. 1-1 count to Castillo. He awaits and delivers. Pulled the string, got it on the back door, got him looking. Now the count moves to 1-2. Beautiful pitch from Brahms there. Brahms now with Castillo at 1-2. That leadoff runner still at first. That runs high, evens it up at 2-2. Castillo's been working in these at-bats very well so far tonight. Struck out his last time, though, in a 2-2 count. This 2-2 pitch, lifted into left field. Benton will go out. Still trailing to the left, and he'll bring it in for out number 1. So another out number 1 to JT Benson. This one not nearly as impressive, but still as important. And with 1 away, it's DJ Stewart. Grounded out to lead off the 3rd inning, but also singled back in the 1st inning. Stewart trying to help the Grizzlies get onto the board here. They have 6 hits, but only able to push one run across. First pitch outside for a ball, and he starts ahead 1-0. Gateway stranded 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, then they stranded 1 back in the 4th. The Otters have also stranded 5. They stranded 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, and 2 in the 4th. Check over to first. Almost got him, but back in as safely as Holt. That pitch swung on and missed. Now count evens up at 1-1. Just the Otters stranded 1 in the 4th, also 2 in the 5th. So 6 stranded runners so far for the Otters, 5 for Gateway, but they're here in this 5th inning. A 1-1 count to Stewart. Swung through that one. A couple of hefty swings from him, but come up with nothing. Now he's behind 1-2. Stewart, the power hitter of this lineup with 8 home runs, a .539 slugging percentage entering this game. 9 doubles, 8 home runs, 38 RBIs, also leading the team in that. Holt goes on, pitches high, throw down low, is in time, got him stealing, and that runner is erased. So now Holt is 2 for 6 on the year. That was a bang-bang play. That time it went in the favor of the Otters. That was a very close one. And now 2 away, and a 2-2 count to the first baseman, DJ Stewart. Sun has gone all the way down here in this ballpark. The 2-2 Chopper towards third. Mendham over to his left. Throw to first in time for out number 3. So that will be another 1-2-3 inning. This one very unconventional, but it's still 1-2-3. Otters still lead 5-1. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Alec Whaley out there for another inning of work, and why not? He came in with the bases loaded and no one out and got 3 straight outs. Did allow 1 run to score, but really minimized the damage of what could have been. And these Otters, they've had a ton of runners on. They've stranded 6 already through 5 innings. And with the way this Gateway team likes to play late, you might end up looking back on that and thinking, what if? But still have a 5-1 lead as we head to the 6th inning. They'll look for some more insurance here against Alec Whaley, who, as I mentioned, entering today's ball game with a .92 ERA. He's pitched 19 2/3 and given up only 2 runs. Whaley in his last outing before this one went 2 innings against New York, and currently is on a 13 1/3 innings scoreless streak. Last time started back on May 27th. So now it's Justin, Felix, David, Mendham, and Graham Brown. Felix looks to try to set the table here for the top of the lineup, but a tough matchup in front of him. So Whaley is set. The first pitch to Felix is taken outside for a ball, and Felix starts ahead 1-0. Alec Whaley, the 5-year veteran of Murray State. 1-0. High pop up towards center, right center. Now hooking towards Schallenberger, and he will bring it in for out number 1. So with 1 away, it will lead to David Mendham, the German-American leadoff hitter of the game, who has reached once on a single back in the first inning, struck out in the second, and then in the 4th inning, grounded out to short. That was with a runner at third. First pitch, low and in. It's gonna hit him. And so a hit by pitch for David Mendham, and he's on base with 1 away. Not the way you want to allow a runner to score. I said that Alec Whaley, 5-year, actually spent 6 years as a Murray State racer. The racer's obviously the Cinderella story to the College World Series this year. Since then, he has spent 4 years with Gateway. And wow, what a pitcher he's been with Gateway. First pitch to Brown is outside for a ball, and he starts ahead 1-0. In 4 years as a Grizzly, has a 2.51 ERA and 132 2/3 innings. The go-to guy out of the bullpen for 4 years. 1-0 inside. That's going to hit him as well. Back-to-back hit by pitches. And now runners at first and second with only 1 away. Had 2 coming into this game, and now he has 2 in this game. And he's matched his season mark with 4. Both of them almost didn't hit, too. So now it's JT Benson at the plate. Walked to lead off the 5th inning. Wyndham at second. Brown at first. First pitch taken for a strike. He'll start behind 0-1. Whaley back in the zone. Both runners on via the hit by pitch. The 0-1 from Whaley. Lace up the middle. That's going to get down for a hit. They're going to hold Wyndham at third, and we'll play station to station as now the bases are loaded, only one away. And it will be up to Pavin Parks. So back-to-back innings, the Otters have had the bases loaded. They were loaded with one away when Keenan Taylor had a sacrifice fly to center. But again, the Otters have already stranded 6 runners. You want to get some more of these runners in this inning because you really want to finish off these Grizzlies before they have a shot to make a comeback. Whaley trying to extend his scoreless streak. First pitch to Pavin. Chopper over the head of the first baseman. Stewart. That's going to score 1. They're going to hold Brown at third, and we'll play station to station once again, and another run comes in to score off the single from Pavin Parks. As I was just saying, there was a scoreless streak for Whaley, and we'll call that the announcer's jinx, but we like that one. So now the bases are loaded once again, this time for L.J. Jones, and now there's definitely some quick action going on over there in the Gateway bullpen. Still no one up for the Otters. First pitch to Jones. Chopper towards third. That's going to get through the hole. That's going to score one more run as we'll go station to station once again. That one hard hit off the bat of L.J. Jones. And now Evansville leads 7-1 very quickly in this inning. It's been a lot of first pitch swinging here. It was a first pitch hit by pitch to David Wyndham, a second pitch hit by pitch to Graham Brown, a second pitch single from JT Benson, a first pitch single from Pavin Parks, and then a first pitch single from L.J. Jones. And now it's Logan Brown. He struck out with the bases loaded his last time up. First pitch, that one's hit hard in the left field, but that one's going to hook foul. So he attacks the first pitch once again. One away for the left-handed hitting catcher from the University of Southern Indiana. The hometown kid, the 0-1 count. Inside, almost got another batter, but Brown able to get out of the way. Count moves to 1-1. Just got his 400th hit in the Saturday game against Joliet. Now the 1-1 pitch from Whaley. Misses outside. Now it moves to 2-1. Matt Hickey, the pitcher, warming up in the bullpen for Gateway. Prepared to make his 19th appearance out of the bullpen. Bases loaded, 2 in this inning. Next pitch to Brown. That one is fouled back, directly back at us. And out to 2-2 count for Logan Brown. Brown doubled his first time up, a hard line out to second in his second at-bat, and then struck out swinging last inning with the bases loaded, trying not to do that again here. JT Benson at third, Pavin Parks at second, L.J. Jones at first. The 2-2. Soft liner into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to score another run. They're going to send Pavin from third. That one goes all the way to the wall. L.J. Jones is going to walk into second. Another double for Logan Brown. And the Otters have officially broken this one open. They lead 9-1. Logan Brown in another big spot delivers for Evansville. And still only one out with runners at second and third. And a slow walk out from the coach. And that's going to do it for Whaley in this one. He got ambushed for getting the first out to Justin Felix. 6 straight runners reached, including 4 hits. We'll have more on the new pitcher when we're back. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
New pitcher on the mound for Gateway is Matt Hickey. Behind the plate still Jose Alvarez. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Greenwood Road, or call at 812-475-9000. So Matt Hickey, his second year here with Gateway, has appeared in 18 games, pitched to a 4.34 ERA. He's pitched 18 and 2/3 innings, given up 9 earned runs, 5 walks to 16 strikeouts. The former 15th round pick by the St. Louis Cardinals in the 2022 MLB draft. After playing 2023 with the High A Peoria Chiefs, rather. Started last year with Gateway, pitched to a 2.11 ERA last year in 41 appearances. This year's ERA a little bit up. Strikeouts a little bit down, walks a little bit down. But now he's got a big moment here as Keenan Taylor is up to the plate. Already a couple of sac flies for him as well as a double. 1 for 1. Trying to keep the sixth inning going as the Otters already with 4 runs across the plate in the sixth. The infield is in, trying to limit the damage. LJ Jones at third, Logan Brown at second. First pitch taken outside for a ball, and Keenan Taylor ahead 1-0. Really a great game here from Keenan Taylor. He's put the ball in play the way he's needed to. A couple of sac flies and then that loud double to lead off the fourth inning. 1-0, that's a high pop-up. Shallow center field. Now that one's pushing back Schallenberger. He's going to bring it in. They're not going to test him. Schallenberger's going to throw it in and keep that runner from third from scoring. Almost another sac fly for Keenan Taylor. Instead, it's just out number 2. And with 2 away, it's J.J. Cruz as the Otters hit around here in this 6th inning. Cruz's first at-bat against a righty tonight. Stand corrected, he actually faced against Whaley the last inning. First pitch swinging, he pops that one up and overhead. An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Trying to keep this 6th inning alive. Couple of runners on. Both in scoring position, trying to push some more runs across for the Otters. They lead 9-1. Next pitch swinging, fouls that one off, and now he's behind 0-2. We've seen Cruz just be a free swinger. He's been really good at it. Now time called by Cruz. Cruz singled back in the 2nd inning, doubled in the 4th inning. That would score Keenan Taylor. Then flew out to left field his last at-bat. The 0-2 fouls that one off, and we'll do it again. Pulled the string a little bit. That one at 79. Cruz is able to get his bat out there and make contact. And we'll do it again as Hickey, a right-handed pitcher, more on the third base side of the rubber, as opposed to a lot of righties being on the first base side. 0-2, fouled that one, and that one hit the ground, so we'll do it again. Didn't make contact. Alvarez not able to squeeze it. And so the count's still at 0-2. Hickey out there wearing the number 8. It's a .370 batting average against lefties. 0-2 fouls that one off, and we'll do it again. What a battle here from J.J. Cruz, making Hickey work in this at-bat. A 91-mile-per-hour fastball on that one. Hickey has worked clean, worked a couple of clean innings against Mississippi. Another 0-2. That one in the dirt. Great stop by Alvarez. Keep where it's at. So now the first ball of the at-bat. Now a 1-2 count for J.J. Cruz. Felix, who started this inning off with a flyout to right, awaiting on deck. Both outs have been flyouts to right. L.J. Jones at third. That pitch, high fly ball into right field. That one is back. That one is gone. J.J. Cruz, another home run, his second straight game with a home run. And the Otters have now extended their lead to 12-1. Cruz has found his power stroke. Two home runs last week, a home run to start off this week, and Evansville has exploded in this inning. 7 runs here in this 6th inning. And now it's Justin Felix who started off this inning. First pitch to Felix, that one's going to hit him. His second hit by pitch of this game. And this inning, it continues to get out of hand as it's David Mendham. That's the 3rd hit by pitch in this inning for Gateway. Now it's David Mendham. He got this rally started with an HBP. First pitch, swung through that one. Now he's behind 0-1. So the Otters have scored 7 in the 6th inning. They scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. So they're 12 runs, as they have a ton of runs here for Brahms, who has pitched fantastically, because that pitch is in there for a strike, and now it's 0-2. Hickey trying to keep this deficit where it's at. The Otters leading by 11. 0-2, outside for a ball. Count moves to 1-2. Minnan was hit by pitch. Came around to score on the Pavin Park single. The 1-2, chopper towards short. Diaz will backhand it. Long throw to first. Pulled the first baseman, Stewart. Just able to keep his foot on the base, though. And so the long inning finally comes to an end. The Otters push across 7 runs here in the 6th inning. They lead 12-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and our 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Parker Brahms out there for his 6th inning of work. He has looked fantastic for the Otters, and he tries to do the same here. It'll be started by Mark Schallenberger here in the 6th after the Otters put up 7 runs in the top of the 6th inning. Now try to mute them in the 7th or in the 6th to get the score back or get the offense back out there. So the Otters struggled to get the runners across. They had stranded 6 runners through 5. And then the 7-run inning to continue, kept singling and singling and singling, and then J.J. Cruz exploded with that 3-run home run. So the Grizzlies have come back before, but this is a different type of comeback. First pitch from Brahms is taken for a strike. He starts off on the right foot ahead of 0-1 of Schallenberger. So now the 0-1 pitch to Schallenberger. Pulled the string, got him out in front. Now it's behind. Now he's ahead 0-2 of Schallenberger. Schallenberger 1 for 2, struck out in the first inning. Then the slow roller to third to reach on an infield single as he calls time. The next pitch runs high, moves to 1-2. Okay, Parker Brahms, he has been fantastic so far. Worked through some traffic. Started with the 1-run lead, then the 3-run lead, and then the 4-run lead, and now he's got an 11-run lead. 1-2, pulled the string on him, got him swinging. Another German-American bank strikeout for Parker Brahms. And with 1 away, it's Paxton Wallace, who had a big double play to end the 3rd inning. So Wallace steps in for the 3rd time tonight. First pitch stays high, and now he starts ahead 1-0. Looking for his first hit of the night and his return to the Grizzlies lineup. The 1-0 to Wallace. That one is fouled up off the mesh wall, and now count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Wallace. Just missed it inside. Now the count moves to 2-1. That one was very close, but couldn't get it in there. Brahms with 1 away here in the 6th inning. Worked his longest outing through 7 his last time out. 2-1 fouled back, and now it's a 2-2 count. Wallace in the right-handed batter's box. The 2-2 pitch from Brahms. That one stays high. No, he'll full count. Trying to keep the count down. That one was pitch number 91 for Parker Brahms on the night. Went over 100 in his last outing. Still no one warming up in the Otters bullpen. 3-2. Hit high and deep into right field. Back at the wall is Taylor, and that one's going to just get over the short porch. So the Grizzlies field plays to its own benefit. A bad luck home run for Parker Brahms, and gives up his 2nd run as the Otters still lead 12-2. It's one of those home runs in one ballpark out of 18. That is an out in every other ballpark. That's about a medium deep fly ball as well. So with 1 away, it's the 3rd baseman, Dave Thomas. The first pitch taken for a strike, and he starts behind 0-1. Otters still in control right now. In fact, there's a position player warming up in the bullpen, Cole Brandon, for Gateway. We'll see if Gateway tries to... So that pitch is in there for a strike. Count moves to 0-2. If Gateway can push across a couple of runs, if they change their idea there, but... Not oftentimes you say a bad luck home run, but that is one of them. 0-2 fouled off. We'll do it again. Brahms has been very good for the Otters tonight. Looks to continue that. Paxton Wallace, a home run, first of the year in his 5th game after he's on his way back. That catch misses. The count moves to 1-2. Next pitch, 1-2 from Parker Brahms to Thomas. Pulled the string, chopper towards third, slow roller. Long throw to first in time for out number two. Great play by David Mindham at third base. And now with 2 away, it'll be the catcher Jose Alvarez trying to extend the 6th inning for Gateway. Alvarez 1 for 2 on the night. Struck out swinging his last time up back in the 4th inning. Also took an 0-1 pitch into left field his first time up. Now Brahms set the first pitch. Taking high for a ball. Starts ahead 1-0. The Otters put 7 runs up in the top of the 6th inning. Then bottom of the 6th, the short porch home run from Paxton Wallace gave a run for Gateway as they are trailing 12-2. Brahms behind 2-0 to Jose Alvarez, coming in with a .316 batting average, couple of home runs for him. Now the 0-2 pitch, laced up the middle, in the air, Brown in on it, and is going to bring it in for out number 3. That one stayed up just a little bit too long as the Otters give up 1 on the home run, but they still lead 12-2 as we head to the 7th inning. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com.
New pitcher in for Gateway is the position player Cole Brannon. Brannon on the mound behind the plate. Jose Alvarez, that pitcher and catcher battery, is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call 812-475-9000. Cole Brannon enters with a 10-run deficit. Gateway trying to preserve their pitchers this game 1 of the 6-day game week. Brannon, as I mentioned, a traditional position player. Makes the first pitch in there for a strike at 49 miles per hour. And he starts ahead of Graham Brown 0-1. So we'll see how the Otters want to attack this. Obviously not traditional pitcher out there. The 0-1, Brown swings, chopper towards second. On the move, Holt makes the throw in time for out number 1. So a ground out to start his outing tonight for Brannon. He's got 1 away as it will head to J.T. Benson. Brandon made an appearance last year with Gateway where he pitched in 1 inning, didn't give up a run. Trying to do the same here. Did give up a couple hits, though. First pitch to Benson, and it hit him. That one at 45 miles per hour. That one might sting. So with 1 away and a runner at first, it's now Pavin Parks. And this is where it becomes dangerous. That short porch out and right, and Now you got a left-handed power hitter against a position player out on the mound. They all count the same. Parks 1 for 3, a walk, an RBI single. First pitch taken for a ball. He start ahead 1-0. Top of the 7th inning, Otters lead 12-2, 14 hits. They've done a great job getting those runs in, especially in that 6th inning where they scored 7. 1-0. Floats it in there for a strike. Count moves to 1-1. So Brandon now from the stretch, the 1-1. Lobs it in there, stays high. Count moves to 2-1. JT Benson over at first after being hit by a pitch. Now the 2-1. Outside. Now it's a 3-1 count. That one up at 49 miles per hour for Cole Brandon. Trying to keep his perfect professional record intact. 3-1 in. That one's down low for ball 4. So a 5-pitch walk. Now runners at first and second with only 1 away. And now it's LJ Jones. Steps into the right-handed batter's box. Singled his last 2 times up to the plate. Singled in the 5th inning. Singled in the 6th inning. Also double. That's paving. First pitch taken for a strike. Starts to be hit 0-1. Should say singled back in the 6th inning. Oh, 1 stays high. Count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That one's hit a high pop-up, shallow left field. Out on it is Diaz. In and on his left fielder, Castillo, but Diaz makes the catch for out number 2. I did call infield fly as there was not too much effort that Castillo had to make the pitch, so he could have dropped it if he wanted to. But it's out number 2, and with 2 away, it's Logan Brown. Couple of doubles for him in this game. Also a hard line out to second, and a strikeout swinging back in the 5th inning. First pitch for a ball. Next pitch in there for a strike, evens it up at 1-1. Counts at 1-1 for Logan Brown. Couple of doubles trying to extend the 7th inning. Next pitch stays outside. Count moves to 2-1. He has been a huge player for the Otters behind the plate, playing some first tonight. 2-1. Hard towards second on the ground. Short toss over to short. Will Holt. And so Brandon works through a clean 7th. We head to the bottom. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
New pitcher on the mound is Nolan Thebe. Behind the plate, Justin Felix. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by The Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at The Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. So Thebe enters after Parker Brahms exits after his fantastic outing. He went 6 innings in this one, where he only allowed 1 run, and he actually allowed 2 runs on the short porch home run, I should say. I forgot about that one. 6 innings, he gave up 7 hits, gave up 2 earned runs, didn't walk a single batter, and struck out 5. Now it leads to Thebe, who tries to keep this 10-run lead where it's at. Otters still leading 12-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Thebe enters in his 6th appearance. He's pitched 7 1/3 inning, given up 2 runs, 8 strikeouts to 4 walks. His last outing against Washington, he gave up his first runs of the season. He went 1 1/3, gave up 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 1, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. First one to meet him in this inning is going to be Edwin Mateo. First pitch in there for a strike. He starts ahead 0-1. So the Grizzlies with 9 outs left. Maybe if they can make this competitive, they'll consider throwing in a different pitcher. But other than that, they still have a position player out on the mound. 0-1 Mateo. That one is fouled up overhead. An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. With 2 away, or 2 strikes in this count, I mean. Thebe set once again. The next pitch to Mateo. Just misses outside. Count moves to 1-2. Thebe walked 3 and struck out 3 through his first 2 outings, but since then, 8 strikeouts to just 1 walk. That walk coming in his last outing. 1-2. In there for a strike 3 looking. Another German-American Bank strikeout. The first of the night for Nolan Thebe. And with 1 away, it goes to the 9-hole hitter, Abdiel Diaz. Mentioned that Diaz has not played a ton of baseball so far this year, but the 30-year-old finally back for Gateway full-time in his 7th appearance of the year. He's 0 for 2. First pitch swinging. He's behind on that one. He's behind 0-1. Thebe 0 for 2 reached via the fielder's choice. A weird one back in the 2nd inning where no one was out. A bang-bang play over at second didn't go the Otters' way. Now the 0-1 pitch to Diaz. Swing and miss at that one. Foul tipped it back into the glove, and now he's behind 0-2. Thebe railed that one up to 90 miles per hour. Obviously, the Otters with losses of Nate Wolgemuth and Griff Hughes trying to find some more dependable arms in their back into their bullpen, and Thebe, a late addition, trying to be that. 0-2 outside. Count moves to 1-2. Of course, by technicality speaking, Thebe leading the Otters with the best ERA on the staff, but of course that is in limited action. Finished up his final 2 years at Jessup College with 19 appearances this year. That pitch lasered towards Cruz on the ground. He'll take it in and throw it over for out number 2. Hard hit ball, but directly to Cruz, and with 2 away, it's back to the top of the lineup and Gabe Holt. Holt 1 for 3, struck out in his first at-bat, flew out in his second at-bat, and then back in the 5th inning did single, but was caught stealing by Justin Felix behind the plate. Thebe, from the stretch, delivers the first pitch to Holt. Inside for a ball, and he's behind this batter 1-0. First time he's behind a batter in this inning. So Holt with a 1-0 count, trying to look for a second hit in as many at-bats. That one stays way too high, and that count moves to 2-0. 12 pitchers on this roster for the Otters, 12 of their 14. They've officially evened it up. Still trying to find a dependable back end of the bullpen. The 2-0 in their first strike, count moves to 2-1. Especially whenever you have a couple of back end guys that you really like in Wolgemuth and Griff Hughes. It's really tough, especially in the middle of a season, to kind of find those guys to step them into a different type of role. Obviously, Alex Valdez still fantastic there. That one's a high chopper towards second. Cruz will take it in on the bounce, tries to barehand it, but can't bring it in. And so that will allow the runner to reach with 2 away. That was a high chopper that was going to be a tight play with Holt's speed. Tried to barehand it, couldn't bring it in. So back-to-back singles for Holt. With 2 away, it's Victor Castillo trying to extend the 7th inning. So Thebe is set with a runner at first. First pitch into Castillo. That one stays high and away, and he starts behind this batter 1-0. Castillo 0 for 3 in the night, reached via the air back in the first inning, struck out in his second at-bat, and then flew out to left field his last time up. That pitch stays low, count moves to 2-0. Castillo played 2 seasons of college ball for Florida Atlantic, a year for Liberty, then played his final year with the New Orleans Privateers. With a 2-0 count, swings through that one. That went up at 89 miles per hour. Count moves to 2-1. Hold at first. He's 2 for 6 in the year stolen base attempts now after being caught stealing his last time up. Now Castillo calls time. Working ahead in the count 2-1. The Otters leading 12-2 here in the 7th inning. Off the back of a 7-run 6th. 2-1 pitch in there for a strike, evens it up at 2-2. Stevie doing a good job working back in these counts after getting from behind these last couple of batters. Quick look around the Baseball Frontier League. Windy City takes down Florence 6-3, big for the Otters. Lake Erie takes down Washington 6-2, so barring an impressive comeback, Evansville will gain a game on Washington. Now the 2-2 to Castillo. High fly ball into right field. Taylor on his way back, couple of feet in front of the warning track, will bring it in for out number 3. So Gateway gets a 2-out base hit, but can't do anything with it. They strand another runner. We head to the 8th. Otters still lead 12-2. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and 96.9 WYIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com.
So Gateway with another position player. It's Edwin Mateo on the mound. Behind the plate still Jose Alvarez. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Mateo onto the mound. There's some position changes. Brandon goes into center field, and he will He will hop into Paxton Wallace's spot in the lineup. And then Mateo will become the pitcher slash DH. So first one to face him is Taylor. First pitch high and away for a ball, and he starts ahead 1-0. That one at 79 miles per hour. That pitch misses as well. Count moves to 2-0. Should say Mateo is the southpaw on the mound. The lefty from the windup 2-0 does find the zone there. Count moves to 2-1. It's just pumping up 78, 79 for him right now. Much faster than the 45 change of pace that Cole Brandon was. 2-1 stays outside. Count moves to 3-1. So he's missed about 3 times arm side. The 3-0 high fly ball in the left center field. Over on it is Brandon and Castillo. Brandon will call it off and bring it in for out number 1. Next will be Cruz up to the plate off his 3-run home run, a 3-for-4 day for J.J. Cruz. He'll step into the left-handed batter's box. Mateo out on the mound. First pitch in there for a strike, and he starts ahead of him 0-1. Mateo also pitched last year for Gateway, pitched in 2 games, went an inning and a third, also didn't give up any runs. That one's a slow chopper towards first to be brought in by Stewart. And it'd be a 3 unassisted for out number 2. And quickly 2 away here for Edwin Mateo. Next is Justin Felix. The Otters still looking for their first hit against one of these position players. They did reach a couple of times with a hit by batter, or hit by pitch, and a walk. First pitch inside for a ball, and Felix starts ahead 1-0. If you said it coming into the game, Otters will be facing position players. You would have loved to hear that, and it has happened. That pitch in there for a strike, count moves to 1-1. Another great one for Evansville, and this time their pitching has been fantastic. That pitch in there for a strike, count moves to 1-2 now. Again, especially at this hitter-friendly ballpark, we saw it with the home run from Paxton Wallace. That short porch out and right can allow for big leads to disappear quickly, but Evansville's done a good job holding on to it. That pitch pulled the string on him, fouled it off. Mateo was that pitch way outside. Count moves to 2-2. Signed by the Dodgers back in 2017 as an 18-year-old. Played with them for 5 seasons before joining Sussex County for a couple of years in the Frontier League. High pop-up towards first baseman. That one's hooking a little bit more into foul territory, and it's brought in for out number 3. So Mateo goes 1-2-3 in the 8th. We head to the bottom still. Otters leading 12-2. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and our 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
So new pitcher in for the Otters is the newly signed Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin on the mound. Behind the plate is still Justin Felix. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by The Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at The Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call 812-475-9000. So Tyler Martin on the mound, his first appearance as an Otter. Former Georgia Gwinnett College. Played 2 seasons with them Made 31 appearances, one of them being a start, 49 in a third innings pitch. Struck out 81 in 49 innings. Good enough for a 14.78 K per nine. An exciting guy to watch here is last year had a 40 strikeout to 9 walk ratio. His walks a little bit up this year, and his ERA ended up at a 6.08, but he entered his final 3 appearances with a 3.6 ERA with Georgia Gwinnett. Him and Anthony Patterson, both from Georgia Gwinnett. We'll see Anthony Patterson here to pitch tomorrow as the starter. And they bring in another pitcher, this one being Tyler Martin, to see what he can do here with a 10-run lead. Otters leading 12-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. First one to meet him is DJ Stewart. First pitch runs high, count moves to 1-0. First pitch for him at 92 miles per hour. Fantastic strikeout stuff this year. Struggled a little bit more keeping it in control. See what he can do here in this outing. The 1-0, that one runs outside, count moves to 2-0. So still trying to get into this year. Obviously, his first professional appearance is Tyler Martin. Set, ready, and delivers the 2-0 pitch to Stewart. Way outside. Now it's a 3-0 count as he is struggling to find his control point. So maybe a little bit of nerves here in his first professional appearance, but just need to be able to find the zone, let your stuff work for you. 3-0 pitch from the stretch, in there for a strike. That went at 93 miles per hour. Had Stewart leaning out of the box. Martin set the 3-1. In there for a strike, back-to-back strikes after struggling to find the zone, and now he's got a payoff pitch. A couple of them at 93 miles per hour. Martin pitching from the stretch, the payoff pitch. That one stays high, and so it will be a leadoff walk for Gateway. Now it brings to Schallenberger. Single and a couple of Ks swinging. That single was an infield single, so. Schallenberger into the left-handed batter's box. The former Purple Ace superstar there. He's been a superstar in the Frontier League. First pitch from Martin. That one's going to run in and hit him. Ooh, got him in the front foot. That one at 92 miles per hour, and now back-to-back free passes. And now runners at first and second, still no one away. It's now Cole Brandon, the newly entered. And now we have a conversation on the mound between Logan Brown at first base, the catcher Felix, and Martin. Such a great career, but as I mentioned, his 2025 season plagued by a high uptick in walks. And really it came down to those last few starts. Entered his May 15th appearance against Kaiser with a 3.6 ERA, and then gave up 6 runs in an inning and 2/3, and then gave up 2 runs in an inning and 2/3 in his final appearance of the year, which increases total runs output from 8 to 16. First pitch outside for a ball, and he starts behind this batter 1-0. So Brandon enters the game as a pitcher, then takes Paxton Wallace's spot in the lineup. 1-0. Hard liner into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit all the way to the wall. One run's going to come in to score. Brandon's going to go to second. Schallenberger's going to stop at third base, and now a double brings in a run. So Cole Brandon steps in and gets an RBI double in his first at-bat. And still with no one out, it leads to Dale Thomas. Singled in his first at bat, came around to score the first run for Gateway, then flew up to left field when JT Benson took a hit away from him. And also grounded out to third. First pitch in there for a strike. Starts ahead of him 0-1. Otters still lead 12-3. Run in here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still need to get 6 outs here. Runners at second and third, no one away. Dale Thomas at the plate. 0-1. That one's a high pop-up into right field. That one's going to hook out of play, and now it's an 0-2 count. So now an 0-2 count to the Grizzlies' third baseman. Martin is set, far first base side of the rubber. The 0-2 goes over the head, and now the runner from third is going to try to score, and he is going to score with no throw, and Schellenberg is going to advance to third base. So now it's a 12-4 score. Still no one away here in this 8th inning. So Martin still with a 1-2 count here to Thomas. That one swung on a miss for strike 3. His first German-American Bank strikeout of his professional career. And he came back and got a big out number 1. You hope that's a starting point for him to lock back in and finish this inning. Martin has some good stuff. He looks, maybe it's just because he's been a little bit wild, but looks like he's got these Gateway batters uncomfortable at the plate. But he's got to be able to rein his stuff in. First pitch, swinging is Alvarez. He fouls that one off, and he'll start behind 0-1. Alvarez with the bloop single on the right that scored the first run of the game, or put runners in the corners, allowed the first runner to score in the game for Gateway, then has struck out and flown out to center. 0-1 count from Martin. Chopper up the middle. That's going to be through for a base hit. Another run's going to come in to score on the Alvarez single. Tried to pull a string a little bit on Alvarez, but he's able to get wood to it. And still with one away, it leads to Edwin Mateo, and now Max Peterson out there. We'll see if he goes and gets him. He is. Pitcher in the bullpen, I believe, is John Beamer, and we'll talk about him more when we're back on the Otters Digital Network and our 96.9 WYIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com.
John Beamer on the mound to try to finish off this 8th inning for the Otters. Behind the plate, still Justin Felix. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Beamer enters to try to shut down this 8th inning, and he has been kind of up and down, but man, when he's been on, he has been on, and hopefully the Otters now using him as more of a reliever. He can give some more of his great stuff. Started the year as a starter when he hadn't really been a starter during his professional career. Made 6 starts, pitched to a 9.33 ERA in 27 innings. In his last relief appearance, went 4 1/3, gave up 5 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 5. That was the game where he gave up a 3 RBI double and a 2 RBI double. But other than that, he looked really good in that outing, and hopefully he can come in and shut the door here in the 8th. As Gateway scored 3, the lead is now 12-5 for Evansville. They still have a big lead, and John Beamer, who has looked good for the Otters at different times this year, trying to do that again. And if he can shut the door here quickly in the 8th, probably would be used in the 9th. So Beamer comes in with a runner at first and 1 away. The first pitch takes outside for a ball, and he starts behind Mateo 1-0. Mateo came in and worked a 1-2-3 inning on the mound. And now he tries to extend this 8th inning rally. 1-0 pitch. Pulled the string, got the back door, and now count evens up at 1-1. Beamer did appear against Gateway earlier this season. Looks really good through the first 4 innings in that game, and then similar to what we've seen with Beamer, just in the 5th, just started getting hit. Oh, 1-1 count stays high. Count moves to 2-1. We saw guys like Paven Parks, John Beamer, Garrett Simpson all look good through about 3 innings. Beamer trying to look good again. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Hard hit into left field. Taylor on his way back to the track to the wall. Brings it in front of the wall. Throw into first. Not going to be in time. And so a fly out to right field for out number 2. One of those that if Taylor lets it go, it might actually get over the wall with how short that wall is over right. And with 2 away, that runner still at first, it's Abdiel Diaz. Diaz still 0 for 3 in the game, reached via the fielder's choice, then a couple of groundouts to second base. First pitch, high pop-up. That one's hooking past the third baseline into the crowd, an overhead foul ball. Brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. So Beamer ahead 0-1 of Diaz. Diaz, the veteran on this Gateway Grizzlies squad. I mean that metaphorically and physically, as he is a veteran for them. His 5th year as a Grizzly. Limited action so far this year. The 0-1 pitch, chopped it foul, and now it's an 0-2 count as Beamer strike away from getting out of this inning. His career with Gateway, he has 319 hits during his 5 seasons. Has a career .265 average. Has 17 home runs, 45 doubles, and 6 triples. So Beamer set in the stretch. The 0-2 pitch, swung on a miss for strike 3. A German-American Bank strikeout for John Beamer ends the 8th inning. We head to the 9th, Otters still leading 12-5. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and our 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
We head to the top of the 9th inning. One more position player out on the mound for Gateway, and it's going to be their catcher, Tanner Garrison. Behind the plate, still Jose Alvarez. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. So Garrison enters. This will be his first professional pitching appearance. He is out on the mound. Some wild warm-up pitches. Had some different switches. Ended up with Mark Schallenberger being taken out. So Garrison will enter at Schallenberger's order. And first one to face him will be the Edward Jones leadoff hitter of the game, David Mendham. Hit by pitch. The first pitch taken for a strike, starts behind 0-1. Hit by pitch has started the rally in the 6th inning. Then grounded out to record the second out of the 6th inning. Next pitch in there for a strike, and now Mendham behind 0-2 to Garrison. A couple of quick 72-mile-per-hour pitches, and now they're going to throw out someone from the Otters dugout. And it's TJ Zarshewicz who is arguing with the home plate umpire. This is Matt Beaver this time. And that's intriguing here. And this will be the second straight game where TJ Zarshewicz would be thrown out with this same crew. Maybe there's still some bad blood between them, but intriguing situation here. As Zarshewicz still mouthing off to the home plate umpire. Actually, this is the first base umpire that came in to talk with him. That's Michael Green now talking with him. Not sure what was being said between the two, but he's been thrown out for the second game in a row. And now David Mendham with an 0-2 count. And now Alvarez, after talking with Garrison, is going to make the slow walk back behind home plate. Interesting development there here in the top of the 9th inning. Otters leading 12-5. The Otters scored 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second, none in the third. Now Zarshewicz is back out there. He's walking down the third baseline to. Now he's trying to maybe talk with the third base umpire out there, Jacob Cackett. He's making the slow walk. The umpires have to wait until he's all the way off the field. But he's going all the way down the third base line to leave. So now Garrison still taking some warm-up tosses. Mendham with an 0-2 count. Finish up my recap here. The Otters scored 2 in the top of the second to make it 3-0. Gateway answered with a run in the bottom of the second. No runs were scored in the third. Otters put up a run in the fourth, a run in the fifth, and then the 7-run explosion in the sixth that was capped off by the 3-run home run from J.J. Cruz. Evansville got, or I should say Gateway got one back in the 7th, and then they got in the 6th, and then they got 3 in the 8th inning. That is why we're at 12-5. Now we are ready to resume play here. Mendham with an 0-2 count against Garrison. The windup and the high pitch. Mendham swings at it for strike 3, gets behind the catcher. And now Mendham's going to get thrown out of the game. And I think the Otters might have a real problem with that. That just seems like it came out of nowhere. Garrison throwing a softball-type pitch. And now McCauley's been thrown out of the game. I feel like McCauley was just trying to have a conversation, and now the home plate umpire, Matt Beaver, is trying to throw out the entire Otters team. First it was Zarshewicz, then after the softball-type pitch from Garrison, where Mendham got struck out swinging, he had a couple of words, and then he was thrown out of the game. And then McCauley comes over because they just threw out one of his players, and now McCauley gets thrown out of the game. And now McCauley still having conversation, still wondering why at this point you're throwing out players, and I don't I obviously can't tell what is being said and what was said between each of the players, but McCauley's still having a conversation. So mark it up as the first professional strikeout for Tanner Garrison to lead off the top of the 9th inning. And now McCauley, he throws at the home plate umpire. Obviously, the Otters staff, there was definitely still some bad blood after how the series in Joliet ended, and now we have a couple of people being three people from the Otters being thrown out: McCauley, T.J. Zarsiewicz, and David Mendham. So the the coaches left are Billy Easley and Max Peterson, as Max Peterson will jump out and become the third base coach. Mendham will make the slow walk down to the exit of the ballpark. And now we will wait for those people to leave and Graham Brown to be the next one up. We'll see how they decide to go with the defense on the other end, but Parks Bauk could make his professional debut on the field if things go the way I think they will go. I guess they could also bring in Ellis Schwartz to man the outfield and Graham Brown into the infield. We'll see how it works out in the bottom of the 9th inning, but first we got to get there as Graham Brown at the plate. Alvarez is back behind the plate. Graham Brown and Alvarez having some conversation. Brown had some conversation with the pitcher, who actually is a catcher, Garrison. Probably just having some fun at this point, but so now we are ready to play as everyone who's been thrown out is off the field. And now Graham Brown who is 1 for 4 on the night. First pitch almost hit him. Almost got him in the noggin, but he ducked down to get out of it, and he's ahead 1-0. He also hit by a pitch earlier. That one goes outside. Count moves to 2-0. Garrison, the 2-0 pitch. High pop up into left field. And on it is Mateo, who's in left, who brings it in for out number 2. And now it's JT Benson, the next to meet Garrison. Should say that Tanner Garrison, the former Coastal Carolina Chanticleer as well, got Graham Brown out. Look at that. Now 2 outs to Benson. First pitch high for a ball, and Benson starts 1-0. Benson was hit by a pitch the last time he was up against the position player Cole Brandon. 1-0 in there for a strike, and now it moves to 1-1. So a massive turn of strange events in this 9th inning as the Otters have had 3 people thrown out, 2 coaches and a player in David Mendham. High pitch. The softball pitch stays high. Count moves to 2-1. That one said it was at 70 miles per hour. I don't know if I believe that, or maybe TrackMan didn't catch it. So Garrison, quick pitch there, and that's fouled back, and now it's a 2-2 count. Quick pitch there from Garrison to try to catch JT Benson off guard. Now from the windup, the 2-2 pitch from Garrison. Quick pitch. That one's lacing the right center field. That one's hooking in on it. It can't get to it, and that one is going to be a ground rule double for Benson. So Benson caught up with that one, a ground rule double, and Deerhead double-decker double to extend this 9th inning to Paven Parks. Parks 3 for 4 in the night with a walk. First pitch takes it for a strike, starts behind 0-1. Otters still lead 12-5 here in the top of the 9th inning. It's been an interesting 9th inning. Now the 0-1 softball pitch that runs outside, count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 That one misses high. Count moves to 2-1. The way Pavin's been swinging the bat and the way he's been taking at-bats, no reason to push yourself out of your typical plate appearance. That one runs inside and hits him. So now runners at first and second with 2 away leads to LJ Jones. The Otters took a 12-1 lead with the 7th inning, or in the 6th inning with a 7-run 6th inning, and then the last 3 innings have been position players on the mound for Gateway. Now it's LJ Jones with runners at first and second and 2 away. First pitch he takes for a strike, starts behind 0-1. Garrison in there at 66 miles per hour. He can get up to 70, even 72. And now the 0-1 high for a ball. Count moves to 1-1. And now with a 1-1 pitch, that one laced up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. They're going to hold Benson at third, and everyone's going to advance 90 feet. And now with 2 away still, it's Logan Brown. And we'll see how Brown wants to attack here with a position player on the mound. Loves to attack the first pitch. Why change it right now? From the windup, Garrison the first pitch. Brown takes it for a ball, and he starts ahead 1-0. Guess that's why you would change it if the pitch stayed outside. Garrison works quickly. The 1-0. Chopper turns first. Stewart's going to bring it in. He's going to run it by himself to first base to get out of the inning unharmed. The Otters strand 3. After 3 ejections for Evansville, they head to the bottom of the 9th, still leading 12-5. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. John Beamer out there to secure this victory. I was correct. Parks Boyk over at third base, entering for the ejected David Mendham. This would be his first professional appearance after playing for Lipscomb University and playing some summer ball. Leading it off in this inning, the top of the lineup, Gabe Holt. First pitch in there for a strike, got the back door, and he's ahead of Holt 0-1. So now that Beamer's moved to the bullpen, spot that he's excelled at last year as well. 0-1 chop foul, and now the count moves to 0-2. He's got a 7-run lead to work with here. 16 hits on the game for Evansville, 12 runs, 5 runs on 10 hits for Gateway. The 0-2 pitch just missed outside, and count's gonna move to 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch, dialed it up to 92, but that stayed low. Count moves to 2-2. So Beamer with a 2-2 pitch here to Gabe Holt, looking for his third consecutive hit. Just missed outside. Now the count runs full. Had him at 1-2 and had him at 0-2, and now the count runs back to full after this battle from Holt. Beamer with 38 appearances in both 2023 and 2024, pitched to a 3.88 ERA in 23 and a 3.82 ERA in 2024, as that's a pitch outside for ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Gabe Holt, and that will lead to Victor Castillo, who is working on his 0-for-4 night. Again, out of the bullpen, more consistent with what Beamer's been during his career, and he had been so good in that role, and hopefully he can step back into that role and excel at it again. He's got 3 outs to get here in the 9th inning. It's Castillo to meet him. Now from the stretch, the first pitch from Beamer. That one runs high, and that pitches for a ball. 5 straight pitches off the plate for John Beamer now. So Beamer with a 1-0 count to Victor Castillo. He's got a 7-run lead. The 1-0 pitch. High foul ball out of play. That's an overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. It's Castillo followed by DJ Stewart, then Tanner Garrison and Cole Brannon. Schallenberger out of the game, Paxton Wallace out of the game. Count it 1-1 for Beamer. Up the middle, that's going to hit the umpire, and they're going to call it dead. Everyone was going to be safe either way, so. Hit the third base umpire, who was standing up the middle. It was going to get through either way. And still with no one out, it's DJ Stewart up to the plate. He walked his last time up, singled his first time up, sandwiching his 2 groundouts. Beamer is set. The first pitch in there for a strike. Starts ahead of him 0-1. So Beamer ahead of this batter here. Beamer, a guy who doesn't walk a ton of guys, so the leadoff walk uncharacteristic. Just trying to finish off this game, still with a 12-5 lead the Otters have. 0-1, high fly ball in right field. Taylor on his way back to the track, to the wall. He leaps, and that one is gone. A 3-run home run on that short porch. And the Otters now lead 12-8. That one was a home run at 305. If you want to know what the short porch can do, a 305-foot hit is a home run. A couple of those now for Gateway in this game. One off the bat of Paxton Wallace. That one off the bat of DJ Stewart. Probably would have been an out, or I guess maybe even a double if Taylor wouldn't have been able to get to it. But now still one out. It's Tanner Garrison up to the plate for his first time. Alex Valdez is getting up to get warm just in case. So now Beamer from the windup, the first pitch in there for a strike, gets ahead 0-1. This is not the first time the Otters have struggled to pitch after Brahms has left. 0-1, pulled the string again, got him out in front, and now it's an 0-2 count. The second time this year where Brahms has had a quality start where the Otters gave up more runs than he gave up in the last 3 innings. 0-2. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Got him swinging. Another German-American bank strikeout. A big out number 1 as Beamer resets himself. And with 1 away, now it's Cole Brandon. Brandon doubled in his lone at-bat tonight. First pitch from Brahms. In there for a strike. Starts ahead of him 0-1. So now Brahms starting to look more like the Brahms we've seen when he's been on it. Brahms went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. Thebe went an inning, didn't give up a run. Tyler Martin in his debut went a third of an inning, gave up 3 runs. As that one's fouled off, and now he's behind 0-2. John Beamer's gone an inning, given up 3 runs. Again, on that 3-run home run, that was 305 feet. Now the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off by Brandon. He'll stay alive. Brahms' second run given up also came on a home run that was just over that right field short fence. The next 0-2 pitch into Brandon. Outside. Now count moves to 1-2. Beamer trying to find a way to get these last 2 outs. Valdez not getting warm up super quickly. Again, still a 4-run lead for Evansville as they lead 12-8 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The 1-2. High fly ball into right field. That's hooking. That one's going to hook into foul territory, and count stays at 1-2. So hit that would have been a home run, but it comes back. Just a loud foul ball. Count still at 1-2 for Brandon. Beamer a walk and a couple of strikeouts, giving up a couple of hits. It's led to 3 runs off that 3-run home run. 1-2. In there for a strike 3 looking. Another German-American bank strikeout. And with 2 away, it's Dale Thomas, the final hope for Gateway here on this Tuesday night. It's been a filled-up 9th inning, drama-filled with ejections and a 3-run home run. And now Gateway first swing there from Dale Thomas comes up with nothing. He's behind 0-1. Gateway still trailing by 4. Beamer looks in again. The 0-1 pitch. Foul tipped into the glove right there. Now it's an 0-2 count as Gateway down to their final strike in this one. So Beamer, an 0-2 count, works quickly. Runs outside and moves to 1-2. Trying to get this final strike on Dale Thomas, who's 1 for 4 with a single back in the 2nd inning. Still looking for his first hit since then. Struck out in the 8th inning. Beamer looks in, set, wind up, and delivers. Hard towards third. Bauk can't bring it in. First attempt for him, can't glove it. That was hard hit off the bat of Thomas. And now that will extend the inning to Jose Alvarez, who singled to chase the pitcher Tyler Martin. Alvarez a couple of singles in this game. His other single was a bloop to right field that just got over the glove of Logan Brown. First pitch, swinging at that one. He's behind 0-1. They ruled that one an error on Bauk. But an 0-1 count here to Alvarez. 0-1 in there for a strike. Now the Grizzlies down to their final strike once again. Alvarez in the right-handed batter's box, trying to improve his 2-for-4 night, trying to keep this game alive for Gateway. Beamer set and delivers. Chopper. It'll be Pavin who brings it in. Long throw to first. That one is just in time for out number 3, and that is going to do it on the strong throw from Pavin Parks from the shortstop position, and the Otters will win this game 12-8 after a lot of different things went down. The Otters scored 12 runs on 16 hits, had a couple of errors, while Gateway scored 8 runs on 12 hits with no errors. And we'll talk more about it on the Papa John postgame show. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
The Otters win 12-8, and you're listening to the Papa John's postgame show. Remember that Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, Home Team Network, and our 96.9 WYIR. So the Otters win a big game 1 here against Gateway, and it got started off by the fantastic outing from Parker Brahms, where he went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, only allowed 2 earned runs, one of those coming off a very short home run. Walked 1 and struck out 5. Fantastic night from Brahms. A quality start, his second straight quality start after the 7-inning outing against Washington. And then the offense came to play as well, again scoring 12 runs. Got started with a run in the first inning on the Pavin Parks 2-out double. Then it was Keenan Taylor with a sac fly, and then J.J. Cruz got a single, followed by Justin Felix hit by pitch, and then Graham Brown a 2-out double as well to score the second run of that inning. J.J. Cruz a double into right after Keenan Taylor's double that scored another run. And then in the 5th inning, they managed to score as well, and at that point they had a 5-1 lead after another Keenan Taylor sac fly. And then in the 6th inning, it broke out with couple of hit by batters, and then a single from J.T. Benson, another single from Pavin Parks, a single from L.J. Jones, a double from Logan Brown that scored a couple, and then the 3-run home run from J.J. Cruz to cap off the 6th inning, where the Otters took a 12-1 lead. Paxton Wallace got a home run that scraped over the wall in the 6th inning, and then in the 8th inning, we saw the newly signed Tyler Martin go a third of an inning where he gave up 3 runs. Beamer came in to shut the door in the 8th, and then in the 9th inning, he gave up a 3-run home run that went 305 feet to give up his 3 earned runs on the game. But other than that, the pitching didn't look too bad for the Otters for the most part. Obviously, Tyler Martin in his first appearance didn't look as good as you would want, but even John Beamer didn't look as good as we know he can, but that home run is one that's tough to always get back. After the starter, Galvo went 4 innings. He gave up 5 earned runs, 9 hits, walked 1, and struck out 4. Alec Whaley went an inning and a third in his worst outing to date with 4 hits, 6 earned runs. He hit a couple of batters, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 1. And then Matt Hickey came in and shut the door in that inning, also giving up a run, the home run to J.J. Cruz. And then it was 3 position players where they went 3 innings, didn't give up a run. The position players looked great tonight for Gateway to keep this score at 12. But Evansville with a huge win. They win 12-8. Take their first game, and now they have a chance to come back tomorrow and win their first road series of the year. We should talk about the Jacksons in the 9th inning. T.J. Zarshowicz for the second straight time against these same umpires gets thrown out, and then Mendham gets thrown out, and then McCauley comes in to defend his guy, and he gets thrown out as well. Not sure exactly what happened there. Again, a game where Evansville had a big lead already. It got a little bit closer near the end with 3 runs in the 8th and 3 runs in the 9th for Gateway, but the Otters still with a big enough lead to take that win overall. And now they head tomorrow at 6:05 p.m. Central, first pitch with a chance to win the series. As I mentioned, the first road series chance for them to win this year. They'll play tomorrow at 6:05, and then they'll come back at 10:45 a.m. Central Time to play the series finale. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but across the Frontier League, the Lake Erie Crushers take down Washington 6-2, and then Windy City helps out Evansville with a 6-3 win over Florence. Joliet wins again their third straight game. They beat Schaumburg 5-4. New York loses to Brockton. Ottawa beats Tri-City. That's a big win. Then Quebec beats Three Rivers. And Down East takes down Mississippi. So the Otters get the win. Brahms will come home with the win. Galvo will get the loss. And the Otters come back tomorrow at 6:05 p.m. Central on the Otters Digital Network, on the Home Team Network, or on 96.9 WYIR. And I hope to see you there. For Lucas Macklin, I am signing off. And as always, have a blessed night, everyone.